Free agency has definitely been fire this year. A lot of people have went to different places, and it's been just a whirlwind. But we still have some guys that are unsigned. Obviously, we know about LeBron James. Jalen Darryn is still unsigned. James Harden. DeMar DeRozan just got released by the Sacramento Kings yesterday. Where will he sign? Russell Westbrook? Jonathan Kuminga? We still got a good group of guys that might just be able to help a contender or might go somewhere else just to get a little bit of money. But fellas, let's talk about some of the guys that are still left on the market, the best available free agents, and what are some landing spots for them? Where can they go to win? Or ultimately, where can they go to get paid?
Mars, you going to do your not talking for 30 minutes gimmick? It's going to be hard to do with 3 people.
Sure, will be here soon. But do you want to start? I can start and then go into my gimmick if you want.
You can start.
Yeah, you can start.
Shout out to Donovan Mitchell. That's where I'll start. Shout out to Donovan Mitchell. Yeah, what am I meant to say? What was the question?
Oh, you weren't even locked in. You weren't even locked in. Now I know. Bro doing his taxes on the side, stealing company time.
I was seeing what time the Argentina game started. I'm assuming James Harden goes back to Cleveland. So it'll be him and the same team they had last year. I don't know. Did the Chris Middleton to Miami thing that was rumored happen yet?
Nah, I haven't even heard anything on Chris Middleton.
Oh, so I might have made that up. Kuminga. Oh, Kuminga is a free agent. He might. What was it? The Lakers? Was that the team?
Yeah, I've been hearing rumblings about him to the Lakers, but what are the Lakers? What's the Lakers cap looking like?
This is why I had to stay quiet in these segments. I don't know the answers to none of these questions. This is a pen swiper type. I don't.
Do you know what
I react when the players sign to teams. I don't.
Okay, so their cap table right now, they have several pending transactions. So they have a $9 million per year contract with Colin Sexton. The trade for Jaden Hardy saves them a little bit of money. Sandro Mamukelashvili is at 12.09. Quentin Grimes at nearly $14 million. Walker Kessler starts at 30.2, and then the Austin Reeves extension kicks in at 41.2. So they have no cap space. They have some first apron space. Let's see where they at.
Yeah, and I figured that was the case too when I was like seeing like all the Kuminga to the Lakers. I'm like, as far as I knew, they don't really have the cap to sign him. However, I do like Kuminga on the Lakers. Obviously, they need some athleticism. They need a guy to run next to Luka. They could potentially use a third option scorer, if you will. I bigger wing. I like Kuminga over there.
I mean, he's cool.
Yeah, he's cool. I agree. But it's about Kuminga, Joe. Welcome to the show.
Okay. My fault. I had a situation with my headphones. It just got muted, but I'm hot now. I'm good. I apologize.
Welcome. In order to afford Kuminga, based on very basic research that I've done here, they would need to do some cap clearing things. Number one, they would have to waive and stretch Jared Vanderbilt potentially, and then potentially dump some expirings like Jaden Hardy, who they just acquired for DeAndre Ayton, and Dalton Connect. Dumping Dalton Connect is tough right now because he's a very foundational part of the Snow Time Lakers. But if they do dump him, they can clear up some space and potentially orchestrate a sign and trade.
If Kuminga was a part of their plan, then why wouldn't they go after him at the time that he was available when the Warriors made him available? Because I think that was his lowest value.
He's not a better player than the players they signed.
He's not better than Colin Sexton?
No.
I would have rather got Kuminga than Colin Sexton if I was the Lakers.
Yeah, guard creation.
You have Luka and Austin
Reeves. I mean, in fairness, he wasn't going to.
You don't really need much.
Okay, so Sexton fit into the room exception. He's not going to sign for that little money. So that money is not possible for Kuminga. What they would have had to do was sign Kuminga instead of making the trade for one of two, Sandro Mamukelashvili or Walker Kessler. And again, I don't think he's going to come for 12, 13 million like Sandro did. So once they overpaid for Walker, it kind of put a kibosh on the Kuminga stuff, unless they can do it some other way.
I don't know if they overpaid for him though, off the strength that they needed that big for that need specifically.
Oh, chill. They definitely overpaid for
but
it. And I have a theory why. I have a theory why. Would you like to hear it?
Please.
Okay. So you remember that infamous Luka trade?
I do remember the Luka trade, yes.
Where he got, traded in the middle of the night like a kidnapped child to the Los Angeles Lakers for Anthony Davis and a terrible package. And some people called it the worst trade ever. Do you know that was a 3-team trade?
It was a 3-team trade that involved Utah.
That's Jalen Hood-Schifino.
And Jalen Hood-Schifino's contract was dumped to Utah for 2 second-round picks in cash. Danny Ainge did not know what he was a part of. That was the reporting at the time, that 30 minutes before the trade became official, he realized what he had done. And you got to understand, Danny Ainge was drafted to the Boston Celtics in 1981. He played, he won championships. He was part of probably the best modern NBA Celtics team ever. This is a guy who also in 2003 became the architect of the Boston Celtics, brought Kevin Garnett to Boston, drafted Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. That's all Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge is
Antoine Walker, all that good stuff. Sure.
Danny Ainge is Mr. Celtic. Can you imagine Mr. Celtic having to be on the paper reading that he helped the Lakers get Luka Doncic?
He wants nothing to do with that. Nothing.
This is payback. This is payback.
So he overcharged the Lakers. For Walker Kessler to get payback for helping the Lakers.
Yep. Because they hoodwinked him, chill. And they had to know what they were doing. But they basically told him, look, we have a 3-team trade.
Yeah.
Can't tell you the details of the trade, but you're going to get, you're going to get 2 first-round picks. 2 second-round picks in order to eat this contract. And Danny Ainge's like, shit, sure, absolutely. 2nd-round picks. That's awesome. He had no idea what he was helping. And by the time he found out, it was too late.
Well, 2 things. Number one, good for them, because Danny Ainge has been hoodwinkling and putting the kibosh on guys so much throughout the course of his career that, what go around, come around. So good for the Lakers for doing that to Danny Ainge. You already know how I feel about him. Number 2, I don't think he's the guy in Utah. I think his son is running things. I don't think that he's running things. I think he stepped down so his son can now run things there.
Austin
I think
Ainge.
his son. Yeah, I think his son is in
He's
charge.
still very involved.
No, and from that standpoint, I do think he is. But I want to double back to the Jonathan Kuminga thing. Jonathan Kuminga, at the point when the Golden State Warriors were shopping him, Ron, I'm talking about a Bentley with 100,000 miles on it, with a donut on the tire. Like, this car didn't really have a lot of value. So why not buy it then and then fix it up, as opposed to when Atlanta's doing somewhat of a reclamation job with him, putting him in the playoffs and showcasing him when his value has now gone up. Even if it's not gone up much, it has gone up. Like, he's not what he was when he was with the Warriors. He wasn't nearly as sought after. So if the Lakers were involved with him and they wanted him to be involved with them, why not go after him then and buy as low as possible? Because it doesn't really make sense to now, with him possibly being a part of Atlanta's future, even though he might be a little expensive and the Atlanta Hawks might not be willing to pay that much. They also ain't willing to hand him. They also aren't willing to hand him over for a bucket of extra crispy and a 6-pack neither. They're not willing to do that.
You played in Utah, right?
I did play.
Yeah, and the Jazz are a pretty small market team, right?
Not a lot going on in Utah. I did not play for the Jazz, ladies and gentlemen. I played in Utah. I went to college in Utah, just so we clear. I did not play for the Utah Jazz. No.
Nah, chill. Let them believe you played for the Utah Jazz. Anyways, they got $49 million linked up with Jaren Jackson, $46 million with Lauri Markkanen. They got some young players on this team that do make quite a bit of money because they went high in the draft, like $13.5 million for Darryn Peterson as a rookie, a 2nd overall pick who's balling out in summer league and making a lot of people look silly. Ron and Ace Bailey. So they got some expensive players, and then they got a Keontae George extension coming up. Walker Kessler has been injured a lot. To borrow your term, he's made of glass.
He has not played much. I
don't think Utah wanted to pay this guy $30 million. I don't think they wanted to pay him $35 million. I don't think they wanted to pay him $25 million. I think they would have, but there was a way as a restricted free agent that you could have just paid him 35 and gotten away without the picks and dared them. But the Lakers were like, we got to get Luka as center. This is the perfect center. I'm sorry. You got hoodwinked. You're saying you needed to throw these picks. I disagree. 2 firsts, 2 swaps, ridiculous.
He
Massive
wasn't.
overpay.
Now, wait a minute, Pim. What I don't want to do is I don't want to go overboard. The injury thing is a problem, and I'm not going to argue that point because the injury, you not being available, is a huge problem. But when he did play the 5 games that he played, he was actually effective.
Oh my God.
And what I know,
ain't no way you're telling me the 5 games he played.
It's a small sample size. It's not a lot.
He could.
It's not a lot. It's not a lot. But the 5 games that he did play, and like Mars, I did this last season. I watched an unhealthy amount of Utah Jazz games. The Jazz were on my TV a lot, and I became more and more of a fan of Keontae George as time went on. So I was watching a lot of Jazz games. But he is exactly what they need. I think in Los Angeles, I think he's a little bit overrated as a defender, but I do love him as a rim protector. And I do think that he's a really good rebounder. I don't like him guarding in space because I definitely think he's slow-footed. Even though slow-footed doesn't mean that you can't guard in space, but he doesn't shoot gaps. I mean, he doesn't cover the space that needs to be covered, even as a slow-footed big. But he does rebound. I love that about him. And he does defend the rim. I love that about him. And in the paint, he does chase guys out of the paint. I like that about him. He ain't Rudy Gobert, which is what they were comparing him to early on in his career. I'm not going that far. But as far as the Lakers getting bamboozled, I mean, they need a 5-man in terms of defense and in terms of somebody that can make them faster and younger. Because they didn't get that with DeAndre Ayton. And I am one to say I was wrong about DeAndre Ayton. I thought that Luka was going to be a perfect fit for him. I thought that he was going to play harder for Luka. I thought that he was going to give me way more on the glass than what he gave me. And it just didn't work. So I think a guy like Walker Kessler, I mean, the picks that they got, what did they get? 2 1s for him? Something like that? I think they got 2 1s and a 2. I mean, I don't think that
2 swaps.
I don't think that that's robbery. I think that it was just getting traded for him.
So they overpaid for him 100%.
You think so?
If Ron is telling you they overpaid,
they
overpaid. This guy doesn't think anyone overpaid.
He's not a proven commodity, like, at all. At least for me, like he hasn't proven himself nearly enough to get that type of value. And like I would damn near think they would be overpaying for Jalen Darryn doing that. So if I think that they're overpaying for Jalen Darryn, I definitely feel like that about Walker Kessler, who to me he hasn't proven anything in this league. And like, yeah, he's good. He's shown us flashes, but there's a good chance 2 or 3 years from now we're looking at this like not only was this terrible, but he really wasn't even all that better than DeAndre Ayton. It is a chance where it's like, damn, that was all for nothing.
I mean, we don't have to go that far, but chill. How many games are in an NBA season? 82.
That's correct.
So that Walker Kessler's played 4 years. That's 328 possible games that he could have played. And Lord knows they ain't made the playoffs, so we're not going to count that against them.
Right.
Although we could if we really wanted to. How many games of those 328, what percentage of those games do you think he actually started?
Less than half.
38%. He started 38% of those games.
So that's just almost 2 out of every 5 games he started.
He's been a starter the last 2 seasons, but he obviously got hurt this year.
I mean, he started a lot in his rookie season. He came off the bench a lot in his second season, but then he started a lot in his second season as well. He's been a spot starter and then a permanent starter the last 2 years, which is not really saying much because he played 5 games last year. Shout out to 75% 3-point shooting. But even his 201 games played, it's disingenuous. He's played 25 minutes a night.
Okay.
He has never cracked 31 minutes a night. That has to be factored into value. I'm sorry. It has to be. Your production to me on the court does not matter. Yeah. Look, these bigs, they don't play a ton of minutes. That's why some of them get a little bit underpaid. You have to factor that in when you're paying guys, $33-32 million in this apron era where we know that Jaylen Brown just got dumped for Paul George because they didn't want to pay him $57 million.
Right.
Well, I'm sorry, Jaylen Brown is closer to being worth $57 million than Walker Kessler was to being worth 32, $33 million.
But are we
Way
really
closer.
but are we really tripping, Ron? Like you said, he overpaid. Ron, a 31 and a 33-1 unprotected. I ain't tripping on that.
Chill, you're not tripping
Yeah,
yet. You ain't there
yeah,
yet.
until 2029 comes and Luka's gone.
Okay.
There you go.
and you guys need that pick.
Okay, so that's a glass half empty mentality. So how about in 2029? How about in 2029 when Luka has already signed an extension and he's still there, and the Lakers just was in the Western Conference Championship, and in free agency they end up acquiring a top 10 guy, which they normally do something like that when they get a franchise player like Luka. That normally happens. So I end up bagging Shaq, and then I coincidentally this kid Bryant, who we got in high school, turns out to be a fucking baller. And then we get James in free agency, and then we acquire Anthony Davis. That's usually how that works when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. I say that to say when in 29, which is in 3 years from now, because I don't think management is going to be what it is. I think Rob's going to ultimately be gone. And I think that they're going to get new management in there, and they're going to continue to build that thing around Luka. So 6 years from now, I ain't tripping on that 31 and 33 pick, because I think that they're going to be much better.
I mean, sure, you think that, but you don't know what could happen. Chill.
Okay,
like,
so
3 years ago, we thought, if I told you Jason Tatum was going to get an Achilles tear, miss an entire season, that Jaylen Brown was going to get dumped that offseason, we didn't know that. And let's just be honest, like, Jason Tatum's taking much better care of his body throughout his career than Luka Doncic. Much better.
There was no issues with his Achilles when he tore it, none whatsoever. But with that being said, Penn, so let's recap. So like what you just said, the Lakers aren't a cheap organization. They're not a team that's not willing to spend money.
They're notoriously cheap.
That's just not true. They've been notorious.
They are notoriously cheap.
Okay, so. They didn't want to coach. I mean, not coach. I'm sorry. Buss didn't want to pay for Shaq at 32 years old because
I'm not talking payroll. I'm talking everything else. From what I've heard, the Lakers operate like a mom and pop store.
Yo, Pen and Chill. Speaking of mom and pop stores and speaking of people being cheap, I can't talk to y'all because y'all are definitely cheap, but I know the chat's not cheap. I know the chat has expensive taste, and I know the chat, well, they live a luxurious lifestyle. And I have the perfect thing for you guys out there that's listening to Player's Choice, that watches Player's Choice every day, and that's looking to improve their diet. I have Factor Meals. Look no further. This is the best option out there. Why? Because, well, it's July 7th right now. We're in the heat of the Summer League. You know, it's going to be games on from 9 a.m. all the way to 9 p.m. Let's say that you're on a marathon run watching every Summer League game. You're watching AJ DeBanta. You're watching Darryn Peterson. You're watching Kareem Lopez. And in the midst of watching all of these games, you're like, damn, all of a sudden, my stomach's rumbling. I'm starving. But I don't feel like getting up and cooking. I definitely don't feel like going to the grocery store. And I definitely don't feel like meal prepping. So what's the next best option? Well, the first best option would have been to have Factor meals already queued up and ready in your refrigerator, ready to heat and eat within minutes. You see, for me, eating healthy, it isn't a willpower problem. It's a setup problem. And that was always a problem until I found Factor Meals. Because with Factor Meals, I'm hitting all my nutritional goals this season without having a plan, without grocery runs, and definitely without cooking. You see, Factor Meals, they have meals that are just built around your goals, whether that's weight loss, overall nutrition, more protein, whatever you're looking for, you can get that in Factor Meals. Every meal is crafted with functional ingredients, lean proteins, colorful veggies, whole foods, healthy fats, all of that good stuff. And on top of that, Factor Meals bans 175 ingredients, so there's no artificial coloring, no sweeteners, no high fructose corn syrup at all. You're getting good, nutritional, dense food. Fresh, never frozen, with over 100 rotating meals weekly, including globally inspired flavors like Mediterranean and Asian. So there's always something to look forward to and something new. On top of that, the steak, shrimp, and grits options are ridiculous. And then they have some other good things too. A bunch of different chicken style meals. I'm telling you, salmon as well. I'm telling you, their menu is ridiculous. Like, I'm not lying. This is literally me telling you guys from experience. Factor Meals has fire on their menu. So if you are ready to eat better and if you are ready to be better, here's what you need to do. Make your next move your best move. and head to factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off and use code playerschoice50 off to get 50% off and free daily greens per box with a new subscription only while supplies last until September 27, 2006. Make sure you get over there ASAP while supplies last. Factormeals.com/playerschoice50 off to get 50% off. I will see you guys in a better place the next time I see you because you'll be eating healthier. You'll shed all that dead weight. And on top of that, you'll just be feeling better and looking better. All right, fellas, I want to rewind and get back to Jonathan Kuminga. Where's a good landing place for Jonathan Kuminga? Where would you guys like to see him go?
I want him to play some. Well, Penn's always been real critical of him, and I don't understand why. I think that I think he's
like
good,
him.
Right.
Critical.
Me too, man. But I think he's a good player, and I think he fits in a system where it's conducive to his skill set specific. I thought Atlanta was a good place for him. They play fast, a lot of transition offense. He doesn't have to do much as an offensive player. I think that's where it gets tricky with him, playing more in a wide open system, playing with somebody that can make plays for him or him make plays for himself in transition. Now, when we get down to half court, and then now we got to put him in space where he's got to do some one-on-one stuff or he's got to do some playmaking. I don't love that. No, I don't love that at all. I want him to be somewhere where the space is a lot more open, and he's got the ability to just basically run, because I think that that's the most effective player that he is. And I think Atlanta's a good place for him. And on top of that, they got this kid now, Mikel Brown. So now we got a legit ball handling. We can move Dyson Daniels to the wing, and I think that really
They got Kingston Flemings.
Flemings. I'm sorry. Did I say?
They got a point. They got a point guard. Chill. We get what you're saying. They got a new lead guard.
My fault. I meant Fleming. So they get this kid.
There's a lot of guards.
And I think it works. And I do think that place would work for him. But if it wasn't there, then I think Minnesota would be a good place for him, because he wouldn't be expensive. He would be able to play in a faster paced offense, because I think that Minnesota offense is going to be a lot faster than what it already is with LaMelo Ball. So, yeah, those are the two places that I'm thinking about off the top of my head.
Could he play a 4? Are you thinking in Minnesota? That's what you're anticipating? 6'7" Jonathan Kuminga is going to play the 4?
So when we go to our small ball lineup, so when we go LaMelo, and
J-Mac.
McDaniels.
Yeah,
McDaniels.
LaMelo and Jaden McDaniels, this kid Kuminga, and I'm thinking
Rudy.
about somebody else. No, I don't want to go Rudy. No.
Ayo.
Maybe Io. Maybe Io. Mm-hmm.
So Kuminga playing the 5 or J-Mac playing the 5?
J-Mac.
JD can run some small ball 5.
Yeah, J-Mac's going to play the 5.
Oh,
now, don't get me wrong. Now, this isn't a lineup that we're going to run for a long time.
The game is changed, man.
Now, don't get me wrong.
I'm with you, Chill. In certain scenarios, you can go to that lineup. I don't know. You guys act like Jaden McDaniels isn't 6'10".
The game is changed.
He's 6'10". 100%.
He's 6'10" and he's skinnier than you.
And we're not going to do this for
15
long.
years ago, you wouldn't be talking about no Jaden McDaniels at the 5, but
But the thing, and you know what? 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago, I wouldn't have said 10, 15 years ago, I wouldn't have said Draymond at the 5. I wouldn't have never said that to him.
Changed. There's
But it worked,
Draymond is a big
right?
reason for the change.
It worked, right? So I say that to say when
But
we
Chill,
run our small
Draymond
ball
can actually
lineup.
play the 5. Why do we act like we can just throw wings at the 5 and they're just going to understand how to play the position? I swear we've talked about this. I'm having deja vu. We have talked about this. None of these players have the instinct to play 5.
Well, that's not true, because Jaden McDaniels here's the difference with Jaden McDaniels. Jaden McDaniels being a defender, and as a defender, what am I also taught to do? Rebound. So Jaden McDaniels can defend. He can also rebound too. Absolutely. So
and once again, like, you're doing that as a unit too. Like, you're not saying Jaden McDaniels, you're at the 5 for these next 5 minutes. We need 7 rebounds from you. We need you to grab every rebound. No, Anthony Edwards, you got to get in there and rebound. Jonathan Kuminga, you're playing a bigger role, so you got to get in there and rebound. Io, you get in here and rebound. Everybody box out. Like, and also too,
if anything, you'd be good to
what percentage of minutes?
Benefit, not for the defense.
Mars,
Well, that's
what
what I'm
percentage
thinking,
of
Mars,
of J-Max minutes last year were at the 5? Can you pull that up, please?
Probably 0.
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I wouldn't say
they were a much bigger team though too.
Right, because you got
They had
Julio
Julius
Bad, you
and
got
Nas.
Julius over there too. Nas is over there.
1% per basketball reference. 1%.
Okay,
Right. So
1%. That's your sample size? You telling me he can play this position based on 1%? I'm telling you, it's not that simple. I know people say this positionless basketball nonsense. It's not true.
And it's not that simple to play point guard neither. And it's not that simple to play.
And I ain't
guard.
asking him to play point guard.
And I do get that. But we do have guys play point guard for a short period of time. Dyson Daniels is a prime example of that. Dyson Daniels, when Trae Young went off the floor, moved over to the lead guard. And for a short period of time, he wasn't bad. He could actually
at least he got drafted as a point guard then.
The point that I'm making is that for that short period of time, he was able to man that position. And even if he did get drafted at that position, Mars, he was able to do it. That doesn't mean that he was a point guard always. No.
I'm with you.
First of all, neither one of these guys are dominant enough as rebounders. That's the point. They don't have the physicality.
We're not saying that he's going to play the 5 for a majority of the season. We're just saying there's certain small ball lineups where Jaden McDaniels can absolutely play the 5. They're 100%.
Let's agree to disagree.
So we got. So I just want to make sure I'm following you guys. If I'm not mistaken, the death lineup was Steph, Klay, Dre, Iguodala, and who am I missing?
Kevin Durant.
KD at the 5. KD at the 5. Iguodala at the 4.
So Durant wasn't playing the 5 there?
Well, it was Draymond.
So
it was Draymond and KD with a 4-5. However you want to.
Kevin Durant can play the 4.
Yeah.
And Iguodala also played the 4.
I mean,
sometimes in small stretches.
I'll give you a hot take. I think Andre Iguodala has a better chance of playing the 5 at his absolute apex than Jaden McDaniels does.
I'm not going to go that far. I just this is where the divide is between you and me, because we live in this position, this era, and the small ball lineups that we have. Even though we have a lot of big guys doing things that small guys do, for stretches we do have small ball lineups. Ty Lue is still the small ball merchant, where he'll throw a small ball lineup out there, and you can counter that with a small ball lineup with Jaden McDaniels at the 5. And if I can get that, I don't know. Smaller 5 to play Jaden McDaniels, and I can get him on the box. Now I'm in business. And on top of that, Jaden McDaniels can also be a roamer at the 5. Like, he doesn't have to just protect the rim.
What do you think Jaden McDaniels weighs?
Enough to play the 5 in a small ball lineup.
He weighs less than 200 pounds. He weighs roughly 200 pounds. Okay.
He definitely doesn't weigh 200 pounds today. He probably weighed 200 when he showed up. That's probably what he weighed when he showed up. Just like Basketball Reference tells me that Bill Russell was 210 pounds. He wasn't 210 pounds when he was 34 years old. No, he wasn't. He was heavier than that. That's what he was when he first showed up.
Basketball Reference has him listed at 185.
Right, that's what I'm talking about. Like,
there's no way.
That can't be true. But I would have guessed about 210. I would have guessed.
He's south of 200. Because Crafted has him at 195.
Jaden McDaniels a lot bigger.
I'm going to generously give him 200 because every single site has him at 185, 195.
6'10", that's a rail. Jaden McDaniels is bigger than that, Pen.
Yeah, it's no way.
He's real.
Wait, hold on. You can look a little bit bigger than your weight. Just like there are some people, quite frankly, you'd be very surprised that they weigh 200 pounds and they look like they're 170. It's called heavy bones. Jaden McDaniels is a very high center of gravity. Him being tall in this situation is not a helpful situation for him.
Right.
I think people need to stop thinking about Jaden McDaniels as a 4 and start thinking of him as a wing, because that's what he is. He is a wing. He is a guy who can switch onto 2s, 3s, and some 4s.
And
but some physical 4s give him work.
He could do that.
I'm sorry. The league is going huge, Joe. We got Zach Edey. We got Donovan Clingan. He can't bang with those guys. I'm sorry.
And I'm not going to put him at the 5 when them dudes are on the floor. But
OG
you know what? When Aaron Gordon is on the floor, I'm going to put him at the 5. I can do that.
Chill. Aaron Gordon is much closer to a 5 than Jaden McDaniels, and he struggles at the 5. It is not an easy position. This is not 2017, 2018, where the bigs are dying. No, the bigs are back. There's plenty of big dudes who weigh 280 pounds right now.
But Penn, if Aaron Gordon's playing the 5 in a game, let's say they're playing the Nuggets, Jaden McDaniels can play the 5 and guard Aaron Gordon.
Yes, he can do that.
Cool.
Yes, he can do that. Absolutely.
I'm gonna move off because people are gonna accuse me of dragging a point. But really, if you look at Aaron Gordon and you look at Jaden McDaniels, and you have eyes, and your eyes are not, like blind, like you can see a difference in terms of the solidity of these players. You can understand the center of gravity. You can understand like boxing out is a really prime part. You're going to get obliterated on the offensive glass. Jaden McDaniels not a good rebounder. I got news for you. He's not a good rebounder.
Again, we are talking about a situational moment. It could be one offensive possession. Literally, we're talking about situational.
So we're talking about bullshit. We're talking about bullshit right now.
So situations are bullshit.
We could have moved on a while ago.
So situations are bullshit. So when you're down 3 and you need a 3 and you put all your shooters on the floor, that's bullshit. When you need to get a stop and you put in your best defenders, that's bullshit. Absolutely. When you need to get a rebound and you put in big guys, that's bullshit.
So when I got LaMelo at the 1 and at the 2, I got Jaden at the 3, I got Kuminga at the 4, and I got Rudy at the 5. Does that not work?
That works.
I think that works. Yeah, I think that works.
I think that's all this. I was talking about the small ball lineup for a small period of time.
One possession.
But I'm talking about Jonathan Kuminga being able to play the 4 for stretches. Like, I'm not saying that Jonathan is playing the 4 full time. No, but he's going to play the 4 in stretches. I think he's more of a 3. I think he's more of a wing, and I think that works more for him, especially when we're playing with LaMelo Ball and Ant, and the game is faster. And then when I go to the small ball lineup to speed the game up, I think he can be more solid at the 4 spot.
All right, well, let's go ahead and advance the conversation. I want to talk about DeMar DeRozan. He obviously was just released by the Kings yesterday. He is now a free agent. Where can we predict that he'll potentially go?
I can tell you some bad places. I can tell you some bad places he can go. He can go to Golden State. That'd be a terrible situation for him.
Why don't you like him in
Golden State? What are you talking about now?
DeMar DeRozan, yeah.
I think Golden State would be awful for him. I don't necessarily think he fits the system. I don't think Kerr's going to like him. And then inevitably in 20 games, when it doesn't work out, DeMar's the problem, because DeMar's always the problem, right? There was a stat somebody released today that he's the only player in NBA history to earn $300 million and have a negative plus minus. Just simple plus minus.
Never heard that before.
So he's lost the majority of his minutes and he's made over $300 million. I don't know. I think DeMar DeRozan needs rehab, like image rehab. Image rehab. Oh, not drug rehab, image rehab. And it's just because he's done so much losing these past few years, because the way he left Toronto, they won a championship right after him. He's been trying to get back.
It's because you, Penn. You're the one who's been roasting him for the years that you've been roasting him, Penn. Right. Absolutely. Every time you talk about him, you don't have anything good to say about DeMar DeRozan. So you're the reason why he need to be in rehab. Because of guys like you and you specifically. You've been critical of DeMar DeRozan when he was in Toronto. You've been critical of him when he was in San Antonio. You've always tagged him as a loser. You've always tagged him as a non-productive guy. And now he needs to be.
What do we say about lying about people? You lying on my name, and
you have never really said anything good about. You've never said anything good about. I've never heard you say anything good about him. When we talked about that, when we talked about those teams,
we talked about research. You better do your research before you start telling me before you start telling me about what my history with DeMar DeRozan. You gotta understand. I watch every single game this guy played in Toronto. You're not gonna lie to me.
Penn, when we were talking about those Toronto teams that were winning 50+ games, and they kept running into, I don't know, Cleveland or whomever they were running into. You were saying that primarily it was DeMar DeRozan, because I was talking about how busy he got in the playoffs, how he outplayed Bradley Beal. I was talking about that, and you made it clear that no, that was just not true. He does not play well in the playoffs. When I said that the problem that we're having with DeMar DeRozan was that he kept running into James. That was his biggest problem. You made it clear to me that it wasn't James. But it was him just not being productive in the playoffs.
He wasn't productive. He got swept by the Wizards. I'm sorry. So did Kyle Lowry. They need to own that, okay? And DeMar DeRozan shoots 5% worse in the playoffs than he does in the regular season. It's one of the biggest droppers in NBA history. That has to be a fact, okay? But me saying that and me telling you that throughout the entire We the North era that he was literally negative on the court does not mean that I don't love DeMar DeRozan, that I don't respect his game, that I don't respect the person, I don't respect all the stuff that he's been through, that I don't wish that he would have.
That's exactly the point, though, Penn. You're telling me that I'm a drug addict, but I love you. You know, you're telling me that I'm a crack, which is true.
Sometimes,
which is true.
Chill. Sometimes
don't get me wrong. It is true. And I do need help, but you are part of this.
Chill. You can be critical of somebody and still have love for them.
Absolutely.
I can be critical of DeMar DeRozan and his shot profile and his lack of defensive effort at times and commitment to that end, and say, you know what, bro, if you play better defense with your athletic frame, and he's a very solid dude right now. He's probably more of a combo forward at this point, at this stage of his career.
Sure.
I was waiting for a metamorphosis. It didn't come with DeMar. I had a lot of love for DeMar. Honestly, I wanted him on the Raptors back in 2008 when he was at Compton High. Watched him, saw something, really great with him. Celebrated the hell out of that dude from 2013, 2014. Chill, you didn't know me in 2013, 2014.
I did not. No, I didn't.
Number 10 jersey every day. Big DeMar DeRozan fan, okay? So I supported DeMar through all the ups and downs here in Toronto. And honestly, when we traded for Kawhi Leonard, my first thought was, I feel really bad for DeMar. I feel like they snaked him. I feel really bad for him. I got over that.
Though they did get a better player, and it did work.
It worked, and it softened the blow. And you know what? Right now, Chill, you're not going to believe this. Guess who's running one of the biggest online petitions to get DeMar DeRozan back to Toronto?
You are, which is kind of interesting.
Me. So, and this is precisely because I think this is the day that he finally accepts what he really can be in the NBA, which is a sixth man. This is where he is at in his career right now. And quite frankly, had he adapted to this role 4 years ago, I think his career would have been a lot better. Would have scored fewer points, might not be this close to Shaquille O'Neal. Yeah, 4 years ago. I think
he had his best year in Chicago?
Yeah, right after that. His skill set.
Yeah.
His skill set. His skill, or maybe 3 years ago, whatever. Like the Sacramento era in his career has just been awful, in my opinion. He's not a great defender. That is definitely going to help you better adjust to the bench.
Sure.
There's a lot of six men in NBA history who haven't been the greatest defenders, and I think.
Do you think he's always been a bench guy, or
no?
We're now moving to him being a bench guy, and we're a couple years too late with that. Is what you're saying?
Kawhi had Danny Green. Kawhi had Marc Gasol. DeMar didn't have that. DeMar didn't have those two players
on that championship team too. By the way,
pardon?
Danny Green was a starting two guard.
Absolutely, and Serge Ibaka, Marc Gasol, like that was a really deep team, and I understand it from DeMar's perspective. He built this thing up. He really pulled everything together. He was one of those rare stars who actually extended and didn't leave, and that loyalty should be rewarded. And I think it should be rewarded by him coming back and having a chance to compete for a championship with Scotty Barnes and Kawhi Leonard here. And I'm not sure that's going to happen. It's just wishful thinking.
Compete for a what?
A championship. Did I stutter?
You did not.
I did not stutter. Let me tell you something about Ron. Ron gonna hate this DeMar to Toronto drop if it happens. He's gonna be saying like, "Oh, he's gonna mess up their spacing." But if he ends up in Miami, we got the championship piece. We got the final piece. That's how you're gonna.
Miami is better than you guys. They have more spacing than you guys.
How?
They just are.
How do they have more spacing?
So Fontecchio and Tim Hardaway Jr. They stretch the defense.
Would be the best shooters on your team.
No, they wouldn't. Jamison Battle is a better shooter.
Jamison Battle can't shoot. He's not going to be in a
better than Hardaway or Fontecchio.
Kawhi Leonard is a better shooter.
Better mid-range shooter.
No, he's a better shooter.
Kawhi does not count because
Kawhi
is the one that you're providing spacing for. No, Jamison Battle can shoot it, but is he really going to be in a rotation like that?
Yeah, I don't think he plays enough to
quickly could shoot it.
Jacoby Walter shot nearly 50% from three. He's not a great shooter. I'm watching him in the All-Star.
I'm intrigued.
He might play 5 minutes a game.
Okay,
I
think
the divide. Jacoby is the first guard off the bench.
I think the divide between
that kind of go to my point
is I vividly remember us having conversations and me basically bigging up DeMar DeRozan, talking about the all-star that he was.
Just because you want to jump off the cliff doesn't mean I have to jump with you.
I mean, he was an all-pro. Not only was he an all-pro, he was an all-star. Like, we don't talk about guys who are all-pros and all-stars that are on really good teams, playoff teams, like you was talking about DeMar DeRozan, unless their name is Julius Randle. Unless the name is Julius.
I think
Randle.
we fundamentally disagree, Chill. I think we just fundamentally disagree on how we look at basketball, and I think this offseason has been really interesting because we're seeing a lot of front offices tell you exactly what they think about basketball. And it's much closer to how I see the game than you see the game.
Well,
and that's
because they look like you in the front office. That's why.
It's not necessarily
and they look like me on the court, except minus the gray hair.
I mean, shout out to LeBron James. He got some gray hair. But no, I don't think that's it. I think there is a different there must be a Venn diagram that we can draw between how you see the game and how I see the game,
Sure.
where we can actually put together and say we must both agree that certain things are valuable. And you know what's funny? We've never really had an intellectually curious conversation about this because one side is always saying like, "Nah, you've gone too far."
So let's do that right now, Penn. What do you
You guys
value?
go about 15 minutes. So
Okay, Penn. What do you value as a player? Okay, Penn, as a player,
to get paid.
when you're looking at a player, what do you value? Because and I want you to answer that very honest. I know you're going to be honest with me. What do you value as a player, Penn?
Turnover suppression,
Mm-hmm.
usage,
Mm-hmm.
creation,
Yep.
shot quality.
Now, are we talking about specific players, or let me rephrase the question, Penn? Your starting two guard. What do you value from your starting two guard?
Okay. Diversity of shot types.
Okay.
Portability.
Portability. Wait. Stay right there, Penn. Now, when you say portability, do you mean portability from team to team, or do you mean portability within that current team?
Both. Like obviously as a trade asset, I value your ability to fit in with a whole bunch of different lineups and teams as an asset. But obviously as a player, I would love if you could fit in with a ball dominant guard or a more off guard. Like I would love if you were the type of shooting guard who could play with a Tyus Jones and, you know, work off of that, but also play with a scoring guard like Jalen Brunson and play off of that you could figure it out. I value basketball IQ significantly. I value defensive versatility, at the very least being able to guard two positions, but ideally being able to guard three positions is even better. If you can slide down, like if you're a two guard and you got the length and strength to guard threes, but you also got the lateral quicks to, in a pinch, at least provide some resistance on ones, I really value that. I value outlier traits from a two guard, like rebounding. I like two guards who rebound. I love.
How many two guards rebound?
Several.
Name them.
I mean, you know, throughout NBA history.
I want to stick within the last 10 years. How many two guards are on the glass?
Can we stick with right now?
Just the last decade, from 15, 16 up until
I know it's not RJ Barrett and Jacoby Walter.
But between 15, 16,
and
25, 26, how many two guards are on the glass?
I think
RJ is actually an okay rebounder. But, you know.
I don't think he's a bad rebounder. I'm going to stay there. Mm-hmm.
I think RJ is a good rebounder.
About 4 or 5 a game, something like that.
Hold on, let me think about the starting two guards.
Obviously, Josh Hart has played the two, but
I mean, he's more of a three.
Yeah, that's why I don't know if he counts, but yeah.
Yeah, but like Tyler Hero is a bad rebounder.
I think Josh
right?
is a more
like,
situational guy more than anything.
That's a guy that I would say like doesn't have that. Anthony Edwards can provide a little bit of resistance on the glass. Donovan Mitchell can give you a little bit on the glass as a 1-2 guy.
Mm-hmm. Now, what do you classify rebounding? Like, are you talking about I'm just rebounding when rebounds are available? Or am I stick my nose in there
boxing out, getting occasional offensive rebounds,
Sure.
being able to get in, provide a little bit of length on the defensive glass. Like, seriously, like it's so funny. Like Ox and I have been going at each other's throats for 2 years, and we've been at each other. We've been at each other's throats for 2 years. Stop it, Ron.
Will you focus, Ron?
He said he did this and said that. Like what? Look, you doing it again.
As you were saying, Penn, as you were saying,
going at each
I'm
other's
with you,
throats, man. Stop it.
I'm with you, Penn.
Anyways, so yeah, like, and we like a lot of the same players. Like, what makes Kawhi so great? Positional versatility. He can guard 1s, 2s, 3s. I mean, at least in his prime, he can guard 1, 2, 3s, and 4s.
Yeah.
But also, like Kawhi can play off the ball. He can play off of another star, and he can just provide great spacing for them. But he can also put it on the floor. Turnover suppression is a really big thing. Typically, when guys have really high usage, which is valuable, right? High load, high creation, high usage, very valuable. Jaylen Brown had high load, high usage. I'm really, really looking at how often does a team turn the ball over when you're dominating possessions. A really good player is also going to be like a really good engine is also going to be a turnover suppressor.
Now,
that doesn't mean they're never going to get 4. That doesn't mean they're not going to get 4 turnovers, but it means those 4 turnovers are going to be less in their hands than it would be in somebody else's hands.
It could be a big deal depending on what kind of offense we're running, right? So if we got a guy like Demar Derozen, who primarily played off the ball for the 8 years that he played in, was it 8 or maybe 11? It was more like I think he went to San Antonio in 2019. So he got to 10 years. So he primarily played off the ball. So my turnovers in terms of me dominating the basketball weren't much, because a lot of those years I played with Kyle Lowry, right? A lot of those years I played with guards where I played primarily off the ball. And when I was playing off the ball, the offense that was ran for me coming off a lot
That's
of
not
pin
how
down.
I would define off the ball, Chill. Like,
How do you define off the ball? I'm listening
I
to you.
consider off the ball being like most of your shots are assisted. You're more of a finisher within the offense. I'm thinking Klay Thompson, like one dribble or less. Like that's
Yep.
more of an off ball player, a finisher. When you're an
We can run
on-ball guy,
offense for you, Penn, where you play off the ball and set you up, but put you in a space
Chill,
where you got a guy on you and you can go one-on-one. That's still playing off the
if
ball.
Jaden Ivey had worked out in Detroit, Cade isn't suddenly off the ball. He's still creating offense.
No,
like,
but if
DeMar
Jaden Ivey worked out,
creates
he's still
offense.
playing off the ball. Like we're still running action for him, whether to come off a pin down, whether to come off a curl cut. And if a guy is in front of him, he can still go one-on-one with that guy, but he's still playing off the ball. Just because I got the ball and I'm going one-on-one with somebody does not mean that I'm not playing off the ball. That doesn't mean that at all. But I want to get back. I want to get back to the idea of playing the two guard specifically.
Mm-hmm.
My job at the two guard spot, and I'm not trapped in 19. I'm not trapped in the 1900s. I just want to make sure that we're clear on that because we play in a different space now where the two guard does the same thing as the point guard. I don't love that, but I do have to adapt to that. I would much rather my two guard played more off the ball and my point guard set my two guard up more as opposed to my two guard doing the same thing as my point guard. Because now what I'm doing is I got a lot of redundancy. Like one of these guys I don't need. If this guy does what this guy does, then I don't need both of these dudes. No, that doesn't work. Now what I do need is I need for Anthony Edwards, for a prime example, I need Anthony Edwards to play more off the basketball. Why? Because we could set him up and put him in space where he can be better and be more of an effective scorer when he's playing off the ball, when he's coming off pin downs, when he's coming off curl cuts, when we set him up where we got him on the wing, where he's going one-on-one against a guy, as opposed to him coming off a pick and roll or a pick and dive, and now he's the primary playmaker. He's the primary ball handler. I don't want him doing that. And the reason why I don't want him doing that, because I'm taking away from his most important skill, which is his ability to score. I don't want that, which is what DeMar Derozen was when he was in Toronto. His ability to score was his best attribute. That's why he was so effective playing off of Kyle Lowry.
But again, those non-DeRozan Kyle Lowry minutes were what carried Toronto. It was Lowry in the bench, Lowry going small with Fred VanVleet in the backcourt or Norman Powell. Those were the moments that actually carried the game forward. If you win a game by 10 and I lose the game when you're on the court by 5, and when you're off the court, we win it by 15. You kind of get the point, and that happens over and over and over again for like 4.5 years. We have to start looking at you and saying, what is it that you're doing now? You're a great mid-range scorer. You're smooth. We pattern after your footwork because you make a lot of difficult shots. And when you make difficult shots, you get on the highlights. When you're explosive and you're a dunker and you're exciting to watch, people tend to over-expand on what you're really doing on the court. But what we're missing is the charges, the deflections, all these things. Chill, if we built a two guard in a lab, hypothetically, Mr. Two Guard, let's just call it the perfect, shooting guard. And I gave you a list of attributes. Do you want this player to be able to guard 3 possessions? I'm pretty sure you'd be like, yeah. You want him to be able to guard 4 positions? Hell yeah, absolutely. Let's do that. Let's be Mikel Bridges.
No, I don't.
You don't want him to be able to guard 4 positions?
No, I don't want him to be able to do that. The reason why is because now I'm taking away from the reason why I don't want him
ability to does not mean you have to. I'm just saying.
No, I don't.
Okay, cool.
And the reason why I don't want him.
Michael Jordan could guard 4 positions.
No, he could not cover.
Okay.
So Penn, the reason why I don't want him doing that is because exactly the conversation that we're having. What we're doing is now we're taking away your job. What your job is. Now, don't get me wrong. I do like the fact that you can slide over to the 1 and slow down a guy. I do like the fact that you can play your position, which is the 2 guard. I like the fact that you can slow down a guy in transition at the 3 until the 3 gets over here. I like that. You should not have your ass on the box dealing with a 4-man. Hell no. I should not be down here with a 6'9".
But what if you get crossed match? I'm not saying
and that's the point. I shouldn't. That should not happen.
But it happens in every single game. It happens.
Even in 2020, even in
guards get cross matched onto
2024, 2025. I get held up on the screen. I'm held up on the screen, and I'm just holding this guy until you get your ass over here to do your job. That's all. Just like you at the power forward spot at 250 pounds, you shouldn't be dealing with my matchup. That's my job. And the point that I'm making when it comes to the 2 guard, to your point, 6'6", 6'5", 6'6". He's about 200, 210 pounds. He jumps this high. He's got a money mid-range game. He can knock down the long ball. He's awesome on defense. I think he's a damn good passer. I love his ability to process. In addition to his ability to process, he doesn't foul much. He's great in transition. This is what I'm thinking about when I think about a two guard.
Let's try to structure this really,
guys.
really
right quick though. Pin and chill. I'm trying to figure out what the hell this got to do with DeMar DeRozan.
Well, this is what this is about.
Honestly,
Ron.
we could have a really valuable conversation here, but it's just going to keep getting sideways.
This is about Penn and I. This is about Penn and I seeing basketball the way we see basketball and trying to come to some sort of medium.
No, I get that. Like you guys are trying to build the perfect shooting guard, but that's a video game type of thing. That's a creative player type of thing. Like we are talking about DeMar DeRozan. Like I don't understand what that has to do with DeMar a perfect shooting guard has to do with DeMar DeRozan on the Raptors or on the Heat.
Well, your deviation from my definition of perfect is my evaluation of you. Ron, you have an expectation of what a panelist should be? Entertaining, on time, et cetera, you know, reliable. Well,
what does this have to do with DeMar DeRozan?
Okay. So
you not be able to figure out.
I'm trying to figure. You answer my question and then I'll answer your question.
I am going to give Cho very quickly, if you allow me, a list of things, and I would just like him to answer yes or no if he would like this in his two guard. Okay. Do you want your two guard to occasionally be able to block some shots if he needs to? Great. So shout outs to Dwayne Wade and Kobe Bryant, occasionally Michael Jordan. Okay, cool. Yes. Do you want your two guards to be able to play the passing lanes with long arms and big hands?
That's part of my job.
Great. Do you want your two guards to be occasionally able to run pick and roll?
Occasionally, the operative word is occasionally.
Describing Manu Ginobili right now.
Do you want your two guards to be able to finish above the rim?
Playing above the rim is a plus for my two guard. Yes,
Great.
sir. It's not necessary. It's not necessary, but it's a plus.
Do you want your two guards to be able to hit free throws?
I do have to have the ball in his hands at the end of games.
Good
I
stuff.
would like that.
Do you want your two guards to be occasionally able to operate in the post? Occasionally.
Ginobili is over there.
Occasionally. For
the modern T-Mac Morphs.
For the modern game. For the modern game.
Occasionally.
I don't hate it.
If you got a smaller two guard, weak matchup, maybe you got a DeMar DeRozan on you. Okay, cool. Do you want your two guard to be able to hit some threes?
Ginobili, we're back.
Okay, cool. But not just one type of three, not just stand still corner, but you want him to come off a screen, maybe hit him off movement,
come off the dribble.
How about a pull up? How about a pull up jump shot? You want your two guards to be able to pressure the defense by hitting the pull up jump shot?
Yes, I'd like to see that.
Would you like your two guards to be a pretty good passer?
He should be able to pass. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want your two guard to have a tight handle, not just constantly be losing the ball out of bounds, but be able to create off the dribble?
I don't know about it. Doesn't have to be tight, but I mean, he should be able to dribble. Like he shouldn't be a detriment. He shouldn't be a detriment when he's got the ball in his hands and he's dribbling.
Okay. You want your two guard to at least be able to guard his position, right?
I would like for you to be able to play some defense. Yes. Okay.
You want him to be able to fit into multiple team schemes. So the example that you were giving with the Warriors going super small, it might be helpful if you're two guard, to allow your hot bench guard who's scoring off the bench. Maybe he could slide over to the three. He has a little bit of strength and size. He's a little bit,
Nope. I got people for that. No.
Okay.
That's
cool.
not his job.
So positional versatility, we always try on.
No.
Okay. So basically, the player I described is not DeMar DeRozan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And that's my point. And this is not a detriment to DeMar. He does a lot of things that I like. He grew a lot as a playmaker in San Antonio. He's a money mid-range scorer, although his efficiency has never quite been as consistent as we would have liked. His shot profile does not include enough threes, which makes it very difficult to move him off the ball and provide spacing for others because teams are just easily able to sag off of him. And as a star, he's imperfect. As a role player, he can be detrimental. Defensively, he's one of the worst two guards in the league.
Do you mind if I interject real quick?
Please.
Right? The reason why I want to interject, and I want to make this clear, is not to disagree with you, even though I do disagree with you on some of these points. But I think the main point of us talking about DeMar DeRozan and the main point of this whole building a two guard profile thing, it sounds good in theory. Just basketball just isn't played the way that you're trying to label it as. And because of that, I agree with you to an extent. You would want your two guard to do X, Y, Z, 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. Sure. Most likely it's not going to happen because at the end of the day, we have 5 guys on the court. Everybody has a job to do. So if you make your two guard do everybody else's job, what you are really doing, and this is what happens in the NBA a lot. You are minimizing the roles and positions of the other guys on the team, and then the schemes and the coaching starts to just be about this one particular player. And then when you don't win, you're going to blame it on that one particular player, and then that particular player got to go and you lose all progress. And that's typically what happens with DeMar DeRozan. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, if you can get a Kawhi Leonard for DeMar DeRozan, why not entertain it? Why not get it? Of course, like that. Of course, that's what you would want to do. But at the end of the day, only one team can win a championship. The Toronto Raptors, you're going up against LeBron James, or you're going up against other guys and the other teams in the East that just flat out better than you, to be honest with you. And you can't say, because I was listening to you talk about how, well, DeMar and Cal, when they were on the court, they lost their minutes, and they did that for about 4 or 5.
Just DeMar.
Okay, DeMar. Oh, well, they lost their minutes, and but I guarantee you, if you pulled DeMar DeRozan off that team and you just replaced him with a bench player, let's just say we replaced him with a bench player.
Fred VanVleet, for example. Fred VanVleet.
Yeah,
Norman Powell.
We did that, and we won nearly 70 games. What are you talking about?
Nope. You replaced him with Kawhi Leonard.
In 2020,
but the year after, we replaced Kawhi Leonard with Fred VanVleet in the starting lineup, and actually, it was OG and Fred that started in place of Danny and Kawhi, who are amazing players and were really instrumental. And we were on pace to win more games without Kawhi.
I'm on pace to win more games.
OG had grew, Pascal had grew, Fred had grew. Everybody had kind of got a little better. And you're coming off a deep playoff run too. So, like,
everything I described about what I want from my two guard, you know who's more that than DeMar DeRozan?
I know exactly who's more of that. If you want the perfect shooting guard, I know exactly who it is. It's Enrique Agumwale? Nah. Kalia Copper? Nah. It's AZ Fudd. We're talking about somebody that could ISO you. We're talking about somebody that could post up. We're talking about a knockdown shooter. Hey, 2 dribble pull up. We're talking about somebody that can guard somebody on the ball. We're talking about a guard that can get in the passing lanes, She did just break the record for the fastest person to 100 steals. We're talking about a guard that can block shots. We're talking about a guard that can rebound. Yes, AZ Fudd is the perfect shooting guard, and that's why I'm taking her on Splash Sports today. I'm taking the more on her PRA of 18.5. That is a layup. Oh, yeah, she can make layups too. But that is a layup for AZ Fudd. And here's the thing about it. If you want to take AZ Fudd's more or less, because that's your prerogative, you got to scan the QR code or download the app by clicking the link in the bio. When you do that, make sure you use code CHOICE. Why do you use code CHOICE? Because when you use code CHOICE, you will get 100% deposit match up to $50, and you will get 100% quick picks boost. It doesn't get too much better than that because, well, on Splash Sports, they have the highest multipliers in the whole industry. You can't make more money anywhere else outside of Splash Sports. So why would you go anywhere else other than Splash Sports? It's really a one-stop shop because you get WNBA, you get PGA, you get NBA, you get MLB, you get NFL, you get NHL, you get World Cup, etc., etc. You get everything that you want, and you don't have to just stay bogged into just one sport. You don't just have to stay bogged into one team. You can get multiple players in multiple different sports. You can mix and match, and you can have the time of your life. So put your sports knowledge and IQ to the test on Splash Sports. Make you some money, and we'll see you guys in the winner's circle. Mars.
Hello.
Where would you like to see DeMar DeRozan? Miami or Toronto or elsewhere? All right, where do you think he'll be most successful?
Retirement.
That's crazy, Mars.
I don't.
So you think it's time for Debo to hang it up?
If I was him, I wouldn't retire. I'd probably be chasing that top 10 all-time scorer.
I don't see why not, Mars. I mean, my career.
Why would he retire?
Yeah, my career look a lot different if, I go down in history when I retired,
Yes,
it was only
yeah.
9 guys in NBA history who scored more points than me. Right.
Right now, he is NBA ABA. He's 18th. For NBA alone, he's 16th.
Mm-hmm.
He's behind Russell Westbrook though, so Russ might get there before him. But he's about just under 2,000 off Shaq, so maybe a couple more years staying around if he can.
So
that's probably what I would do. But
because James Harden's going to keep, I think James Harden's going to catch Chamberlain. I do. I think James is going to play a couple more years.
I got a hot take here. I don't think James is going to play that many more years.
You don't think so?
No, I think.
I mean,
James
there's a hot take.
play.
The guy drafted in 09 might retire.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think James is probably going to retire maybe after this year.
Well, he about to sign his contract extension.
Don't matter.
So you don't think he's going to play his contract out?
I think I think he got about 2
just
more
won't be
years.
a long contract. It just won't be a long contract.
Yeah, I think he got about 2
I
more
was
years in
DeMar,
him.
I stayed in Sacramento for.
They didn't want him there.
Yeah,
They didn't want him in Sacramento.
I know. Somewhere I could just put out points. I don't know who that is right now, but somewhere I could.
DeMar need to go play for the Thunder for real. I don't know why nobody want to sign with the Thunder. Yeah, why nobody want to sign with the Thunder?
That nigga be on the he'd be on the Thunder in his warm-ups clapping hard.
Yeah, I don't think OKC are calling for DeMar Derozen.
Man, look, listen. Look, I mean, maybe so, but listen, for Oklahoma City,
yeah, I would go to New Orleans.
I think OKC is going to find themselves in the situations to where they will start to acquire like older talent to match the firepower and energy of what's going around the league. And the only reason why I'm saying older talent is because that's pretty much what's available. Now, I don't know if that'll be just DeMar Derozen, but they're going to need the West has gotten better. And I'm not saying Oklahoma City haven't, but they haven't made moves to where it's like, okay, we can see, that the West is getting better. J-Dub will be back, and I think people forget about J-Dub, but at the same time, I wouldn't be mad if DeMar DeRozan was over there sometime to close when Shea might not have it going, or you just need a bucket to get it going, whether that's off the bench, whether that's whatever. DeMar DeRozan on that Thunder team when they go on a scoring drought, shit. Damn near win the championship. You damn near win a championship again, because that's really what happens when SGA isn't playing good. We look for guys like Caruso to score, and it's like, yeah, Caruso, he's a damn good player. Mars, you ain't got to worry about me slipping that up. He's a damn good player, but at the end of the day, DeMar DeRozan in that position, they coming out that West. They coming out where they beating San Antonio if they had DeMar DeRozan last year, just because of the way the game goes. And so that's how I see it.
So the way to your point, Mars, the way that the math works, if DeMar DeRozan gave you 70 games and gave you 15 a game, just 77 over the next 2 years, if he gave you 70 games and he gave you 15 a game, that's 1,050 points. So that's 2,100 points over the next 2 years. If he gave you 15 a game, I would actually
he can probably average 20.
I think he could average 15 a game over the next 2 years to pass Shaq.
I agree. He just needs to go to a team that's going to play him to do that. Yeah, which is why I'm not going to no team to come off the bench.
I'm not playing.
DeMar wants to play ring chase, though. Come off the bench.
He might
I'm just saying what I would do if I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, Ron, what was the best opportunity?
Might want to win. I don't know, but if I was DeMar, I'm chasing that top 10.
Well, that's what I'm doing. To be honest with you, Mars, because if you think about it, Ron, today, right? Like, when was the best opportunity that DeMar DeRozan had to win an NBA championship?
It's this year. As a free agent, being able to go sign somewhere on a vet minimum or on just a minimum contract in general.
Yeah, DeMar's never really had a chance of winning a chip for.
That's what I'm talking about.
Ever. I mean, you could say Toronto like when they were the number one seeds, but come on,
the Warriors existed.
Yeah, but
like
nobody ever thought they were going to beat LeBron.
Yeah, nobody ever thought Toronto was going to win a championship.
Yeah, DeMar's had a 0% chance of winning a chip every year.
Like they wasn't getting past like the years that they lost. I think they won 59 games in 18. They lost to the Cavs in the semifinals, and then in 16, you lost to them in the East Finals, right? So, and it seems like I'm bringing back some memories for Penn. I apologize.
No, I don't.
With that, with that,
they have a chip. He's all right.
With that being said, like
Chill,
what are the
I don't
years?
know if you know this. Kawhi back. We
Kawhi
good.
is back. That
we
is
good.
correct.
He was
Kawhi
at the press
back.
conference this morning. He's in
DeRozan
Toronto
coming
right
back
now.
too. Don't worry about it.
Hey.
DeRozan be back too. Don't worry about it.
Can you imagine that? The guy that I got traded for, now I'm on the team with him playing.
Chill, I'll
behind
let you know something. They're tight. They're boys.
him and Leonard.
Yeah.
Well, they are. Ain't they from the same? Well,
they're both from Southern California. They came
Yeah,
up
they
around
both
the same
from Southern
time in high school.
Yeah.
And
So
by
they
the
like
way,
they got a
two
problem with each other or something?
multi-millionaires who did not let the money taint them. They're both as real as they come. So they'd be very fast friends, for sure.
I'm on Mars page with this though. To be honest with you, like I never really had an opportunity. I never really had an opportunity.
Why are we doing this? We never had an opportunity. He chose to sign as a free agent with Sacramento.
Okay, right.
Yeah, and
Sacramento-
therefore he had no chance of winning once
Okay.
he went there.
Yeah, but
Hold on.
Penn at that time, no, he still had value to get money too. Like as
So-
of right now, like Demar's not going to sign a max contract. He's not going to sign for even 20 mil a year. So like now it's a little different. Now he's kind of like on that LeBron thing where it's like I'm going somewhere to get paid little to contribute a lot to winning a championship and chill in Mars. That's why I'm on the opposite side of you guys. That top 10 shit is cool. I'm trying to go ahead and get one of these rings.
Ron, do you give a shit about
What
Mitch
if he go
Richmond?
to
Wait. Hold on, Drench. Hold on, Drench. Ron, do you give a shit about Mitch Richmond winning the NBA championship with the Lakers in 2002?
So here's the
Well,
thing.
maybe Mitch Richmond cares.
That's what I was about to say. If it's me for my
What
personal
are
legacy,
we talking about more though? What are we talking?
No,
are we
Steve,
talking
you're,
about Mitch
you're
Richmond?
talking about what everybody else is talking about more. Chill. I'm talking about for me as a hooper, as a basketball player, for my personal legacy and how I feel about my career. I didn't gave everybody I can buckets. I didn't gave everybody from Kobe to LeBron to Anthony Edwards to Victor Wembanyama. I didn't gave everybody buckets. Everybody know who Debo is.
Right.
But the one thing that I don't have personally, I don't have a ring. I'm a top 20 and top 10. Like, yes, top 10 sounds a little better than top 20. I'll probably still even get to top 15. But the one thing I don't have personally, I don't have that ring. I'm looking around at all my peers. I'm looking at the James Hardens. I'm looking at the Russell Westbrooks. I'm looking at the guys who never got it done. And then I'm looking at these other guys. I'm looking at LeBron's who stole rings from me. I'm looking at Steph Curry who got rings on my watch. I'm looking at Kawhi Leonard who got traded from me and ended up getting a ring. I'm in it. Yes, I'm in an exclusive scoring club, but that club over there is the club I'm really trying to get into.
In the top 10 scoring. There's
Okay,
more than
hold
10
on.
And Mars, there's only 15 spots in the top 15.
Sure,
So would I rather be top 10 in ring list? Would I rather be top 10 in ring list, or would I rather be top 15 and have a ring?
Okay.
And I'll still be able to contribute at this moment in time too. If he goes to Miami,
difference in preference at the end of it. Oh,
Chill, you brought up
I see
Mitch.
your point,
Chill, you brought up Mitch Richmond. I want to bring it to your attention in case you don't know. Mitch Richmond played 4 minutes in that entire playoff run. That is not the role that DeMar Derozen is signing. Total.
No, he wasn't playing at all. No, he was.
Okay,
Lindsey Hunter was playing in front of him.
He was a glorified human victory cigar at that point in his career.
Yeah,
that is not the role.
He retired after that.
That is not the role that DeMar Derozen is signing up for. Okay, that is not the role at all. He would be a de facto sixth man, seventh man in Toronto. He would possibly, even play major fourth quarter.
So it'd be a
minutes.
Gary Payton ring?
Maybe. But what I will tell you,
guy who doesn't contribute to winning though.
Okay. Once again, just because a player is imperfect as a first option does not mean they can't work wonderfully as a third option or a fourth option or off the bench.
Sure, I can get with that.
So there are certain players who, came into the league like a Jamal Crawford as a high lottery pick, and they found a role as a sixth man. Right?
Yep.
A lot of players have an aversion to coming off the bench. I've never completely understood it, but I understand the pride element and also the money that goes along with it. But if you can perfect that role, it is a very valuable role. Manu Ginobili showed us that. Lamar Odom has shown us that in spurts. It's a very valuable thing.
He did that on that Laker team, the championship Laker team. He came
absolutely.
Yes,
and Mitchell Robinson just got paid. Chill. There has been a revolution of analytics and spreadsheets this offseason. Almost every front office, not all of them, but a lot of them, are making decisions based on the analytics. DeMar DeRozan has never been favorable on the analytics. So I'm looking at teams like Golden State that are very analytically driven. I'm looking at a lot of contenders, and they're very analytically driven. And I just don't think that a lot of these teams are going to value what DeMar DeRozan does to the extent that they're willing to hand over their roster to him. And I'll tell you another thing. There's a thing that one hooper knows is that when a dude is that talented, he ends up with the ball a lot more than you think.
But that wouldn't be the case. That would not be the case with him playing in Miami. If he was playing in Miami, I don't think that.
How does that work?
Well, the way it worked, they don't have a 2 guard. That's number one. So let's start there.
Okay.
They don't have a, they don't have a
That's
2 guard.
not entirely true, but okay.
They don't have it. Let me rephrase that. They're
starting
DeMar hasn't played the 2 in like a decade.
He's not a 2 guard. So let's start there. He's a 3-4 at best at this point.
He's a 3-4 in today's game, right?
No. He's a 3-4 at
DeMar
best.
DeMar can play the 4, but Jaden McDaniels can't play the 4.
Yeah.
DeMar's stronger than Jaden McDaniels, and he also weighs 30 pounds more than Jaden McDaniels.
And Jaden McDaniels is 4 inches taller.
Yes, and DeMar DeRozan, who has played the 2 guard for the majority of it, so he showed up in 2009.
Well, we're actually at a point where the majority is now him not playing the 2.
Well, that's
been around for so long.
Okay, so he showed up in 2009. So we're in 26. So that's 7. So he's been in the league 17 years. So he played in. I know that sounds crazy, Ron. Yeah, he's been in the league 17 years. So from 2009 to 2018, that's 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
He played the 2 guard in Toronto. He didn't play the small. He didn't play the 4. He played the 2. For the last 7 years, he's been playing the 2, the 3, the 4. That's what he's been playing. But the majority of my career, I play the 2 guard. I play off the ball. And that doesn't go away when I got to play the 3 or I got to play the 4. Even though we play in the modern era, and Mars, you've said it to me yourself, the 2 and the 3, they basically do the same thing. I'm sorry.
Why can't he play the 2 guard, though?
He's too slow. He doesn't have good lateral quickness.
What does that have to do with playing the 2 guard?
You got to guard somebody.
CJ McCollum is not like
Steph played the point and guard Al-Farouq Aminu. So.
Yeah, I don't know what that has to do with that.
And
both to do with the 2 guard.
Both of these teams are very strong defensive teams.
Luka Doncic be playing the 1 sometime.
And he run like he got a piano on his
back. This is why the position stuff is funny. Like he's just been listed at a 3 for like the last like.
So is he a better player than Walt Bellamy? I'm asking you specifically. Or is he a better player than Walt Bellamy all time?
There's no way Chill has a ranking of Walt Bellamy.
I'm just curious.
Yeah.
What does that have to do? Why?
What was a big?
I don't know. I'm assuming.
Hang on. I promise I'm going somewhere. Is he better than Pau Gasol? Giannis? How about you stop me when I get to a player that you think DeMar is better than?
Why though?
Hang on. Intellectual curiosity. Hang on. Larry Bird, Gary Payton, Clyde Drexler, Dame Lillard.
Okay, but
Chris
why?
Paul. He better than any of these players? Hang on.
Okay,
Drench.
sure.
Jeez. Elgin Baylor, Dwayne
why?
Wade, Adrian Dantley, Robert Parrish.
These are all forwards.
No. Charles Barkley, Allen Iverson. Is he better than any of these guys? Ray Allen, Patrick Ewing,
for the sake of your list, just say no.
Well, he might say someone DeMar's better.
But for the sake of the list, let's just say no.
Stop.
I'm
Jerry
trying
West,
to find out.
Reggie
I'm trying
Miller,
to find out where he's
Rick
going.
Barry, Alex English.
It
Vince
sounds like
Carter.
what it
Is
sounds
he
like
better
you're
than
saying.
any of these players so
No,
far?
he's
Okay.
Sounds like
Kevin Garnett, John
Oh
Havlicek,
my goodness.
Paul Pierce, Tim Duncan, Steph Curry, George Gervin.
Sounds like these are all number 1s.
Dominique Wilkins, Oscar Robertson.
What is the
Is he
point?
better than any of those players?
He's what
So
Penn is saying.
Those are
what Penn is
players that are
saying-
behind him in the all-time scoring list from
yes.
49
I
to
knew that
19.
was scoring
Those are the
list.
30
I knew it.
players on his heels, and you don't think he's better than any of them. So
Mhm.
what point is there in passing Shaq? Another player we know he's
For
not
him.
better.
Who cares if you think I'm better
Who
than them?
cares?
Yeah, it's for him. It's for him.
I'm so
Right
mad.
now, I'm thinking
Whether or not
Hall
you
of Fame
think I'm better than them,
resume.
I don't care. Look,
No.
you gonna look at that list, you're gonna see DeMar DeRozan's name.
Yeah, like why does
There's
that
Hall of Fame
matter?
resume
I'm
looks a lot
worse
better
than
though. But Penn, can we agree that my Hall of Fame resume looks a lot better if I'm a top 10 scorer all time?
No, because you're not gonna be top 10 for long. It's gonna last like a minute, and we're so far up in scoring. Steph Curry's right behind him. Steph Curry's probably gonna play longer than him. Russell Westbrook is mildly ahead of him. You know, like there's guys like Luka that are gonna come up. There's guys like Damian Lillard that.
So
might
then I
catch him.
guarantee I'm gonna stay in the top 15.
Okay, but the point here is being a top 15 scorer when the image of you is so tainted as like you spend so much time on losing teams, it's not going to boost your Hall of Fame resume at this point. What is going to boost your Hall of Fame resume is taking a bench role and actually contributing to a
Not gonna boost
championship.
your- That might hurt.
If I score more
points,
points
I don't
than
think
Shaq,
so.
I've made myself an 100% Hall of Fame.
He's a first ballot
Yeah.
Hall of Famer, Penn.
There's like,
If he-
there's
you know,
literally-
if he passes Shaq
whether
on
we
the
like it
all-time
or
scoring
not,
list.
it will be inarguable. If DeMar DeRozan scores more points in the NBA than Shaquille O'Neal
He's a
did,
first ballot
he
Hall
will
of
be
Famer.
a 100% Hall of Famer.
I think that ring solidifies
So
him too,
passing
though.
Tim Duncan
if he gets top 15 with a ring, I think
doesn't
No,
solidify
he's gonna
it.
make it now.
Passing
He's gonna
Dwayne
make it.
Wade.
he's a
doesn't
Hall of
do
Famer
it.
Make
now.
it now.
DeMar
I just
DeRozan's
get
a Hall
to
of
say I'm
Famer
top
now.
10 with it.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
no,
the reason why
so
that
now we're
doesn't-
just worried about the optics. We're not
the
worried
reason
about
why
the
that
optics.
doesn't-
Egypt
We're
scored.
just worried about the optics.
The reason
but
why
my
that
thing
doesn't
is
hold as
this.
much.
I was gonna say this shit. Like, it's so funny that how this is why this number shit, and this is why Mars always correct me when we talk about the narratives of these numbers and analytics. They only matter when they fucking want them to matter. Like, we can talk about him scoring and all of this other shit, how many people he's in front of, but hey, that doesn't matter because the narrative and the light that he's in it taints it. But then when it comes down to those numbers and fitting it on the team, now we got to get to the numbers again, and now the numbers are absolute. And it's just basketball isn't played in a vacuum to where we can just specifically say DeMar DeRozan isn't a 2. And I say why? Well, he's not fast enough. He's not this, he's not that. And then we go point at other guys who's not the same. So it's just
Name me a 2 that's as slow as him in the NBA today.
How about
So at worst, you're agreeing he's the
CJ
slowest
McCollum.
2 guard in the league.
CJ
CJ
McCollum.
McCollum is not as slow as him.
CJ is quicker than him, but like you can't. Tim Hardaway is
quicker.
Tim Hardaway plays the 2. He's not faster.
Ron,
than
but
DeMar DeRozan.
regardless, it doesn't matter.
Bryce Sensabaugh can't move his feet.
Yeah,
Very
but
He's not a 2
regardless,
either,
but
he plays the
regardless, everybody does not
Nah,
have
that's
to
what you
look
mean, man. I
like
know
what the
everyone, man.
numbers say you have to look like. Basketball is made up of different body types,
Quickness is a
different
number.
quickness. I'm talking about numbers as far as the archetype of what people think you're not a 2 because you're not fast. I've never heard that before in my life. Like, you're not a 2 because you're not fast enough. We all played against basketball players who's slow, can get their shot off still, who's slow but still can defend fairly well. Like, basketball doesn't
Is
look.
DeMar someone who can defend fairly well?
It doesn't matter if he defends fairly well at the 2, 3, or 4. That does not matter.
That's
he can
good
be a 2.
because he don't do any of them. He's 0 for
So
then why
6.
can't he
he's
be
not
a
an NBA
2?
player. So he's not an NBA player.
It's easier to hide him on a 4 than it is on a 2.
No, it is not.
But,
Yes, it
but
is.
Not
if your
today.
position is who you guard, then most people's positions are wrong. Because most people don't guard their own position in today's game.
So it doesn't matter if he's faster or quick enough to play the 2. That does not matter.
And if
Wemby out there guarding OG in the finals, we gonna say Wemby not a
He
five?
has more in common
We're
with
not
his
gonna say
overall
that.
shot.
No.
Like he's a post.
Jalen Brunson ain't guarded
big
a point
guard.
guard in 8 years. Jalen Brunson not a point guard.
he definitely plays the
You
lead guard.
chill.
The question
We
that I'm
watched
asking,
Michael
though,
Jordan play the point guard and the shooting guard, but when he came back with Washington, what position did he play? He played the small forward. Why did he move positions? Because that was the position that he could best leverage his strength and his declining quickness. We have
Yeah,
seen
wait, say that
players
again,
do
say that
this.
again. Say that again, Penn. Say that
It's
again.
a different era though, and like we
Back
know
then, you
this.
used to guard your position. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
back
but
then
say that again,
it was strictly a point guard did this, a shooting guard did this, a small forward did this, a power forward posted up, a center posted up, blocked shots, rebounded. You didn't think about shooting threes. It was rare exceptions. Nowadays, it's a limitless game, and you know this. But like my thing is, we're getting caught up in what position DeMar DeRozan would play as opposed to what value he would bring to these teams. Like we all know DeMar DeRozan doesn't play defense well, regardless of whether he's guarding a 4, guarding a 2, guarding a 1, or guarding a center. DeMar DeRozan's not a defender. What DeMar DeRozan brings is a scoring punch, for whether it's for the Raptors or whether it's for the Heat. Yeah. DeMar DeRozan is going, when he has the ball in his hand, he's gonna generate a shot.
DeMar DeRozan has always maintained that he wants to win championships, that he wants to win a championship, that he wanted to bring a championship to Toronto. I think part of the fact that he didn't get to do that is unfinished business. I think there's a chance to do that right now. And if he doesn't go to Toronto, I think there are some better, there's some options for him, but I don't think Golden State and Miami are necessarily great options. I've seen what Giannis needs. I don't think it's DeMar. I don't think that. DeMar needs the ball in his hands to score. DeMar's not a great off-ball player. He's not.
I think Golden State would be good for him too. He can just replace Jimmy Butler. DeMar and Jimmy Butler.
But then what happens when Jimmy Butler comes back? They're going to waive
DeMar
him.
and Jimmy Butler are similar.
As far as
not
what
similar.
as far as what they do, they both don't shoot like a high volume 3-pointer.
That's
Jimmy's
the
an
only
excellent defender.
commonality.
Yeah, that's fine, but they both good playmakers on the offensive end. They both can get buckets on the offensive end. Like that's what I mean. They're similar as far as what it would be in Golden State for them. It would be very similar.
Well, one's a hell of a defender and does the little things.
Yeah,
that
I mean,
level doesn't want to happen.
obviously,
but
obviously,
Steph
one is a hell
Curry
of
at
a, I'm just
38
talking about on
needs
the offensive end.
insulation. How are you supposed to function with a Steph Curry and DeMar DeRozan backcourt defensively if you're assuming that he's going to play the two? Like, you don't have enough defense to insulate this guy. You don't. You need to put him on a team like. Honestly, you need to put him on a team like San Antonio.
But you do have enough defense on Miami to
Keldon.
insulate him with Davion Mitchell and what?
Sorry,
what happened?
Messi missed the penalty. Sorry. Okay.
What?
Damn, that's not the GOAT.
This ain't my go. He's missed 2. Oh
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Even they trying to cheat him.
I wouldn't be mad. I wouldn't be mad if DeMar was on Golden State because I can see their offense functioning well. Golden State had a lot of issues last year with guys getting to the free throw line. They've had that issue the past 2 or 3 years. With guys just getting to the free throw line and just getting 2 feet in the paint. I think DeMar DeRozan can do that. And DeMar DeRozan still can score the ball, and his skill set is good enough for the Warriors offense, like for, to make those reads and be able to cut and be able to play out a split action. DeMar is good enough to do that. Now on the defensive end, of course, you'll have to figure something out. But once again, we can't build these perfect teams sometimes. Sometimes you just got to go with what's available, what we have, and you got to strategize around it. And that's the problem with all of these new analysts in basketball. Everybody feel like there's a blueprint to the same type of team to win this championship. We need this defender. We need that type of defender. You're not that type of defender. Oh, you're that scorer, but you're not that type of three-point shooter. And it's just like, bro, this shit's starting to get this efficiency talk. It's good for the game, but it's just as bad for the game. It's really just a life thing in general. Everything in life is starting to become about efficiency, and it's just robbing people of experiences of what's actually in front of them. And that's what's wrong with this game now.
Right quick, chill though. Just on that point before you change the subject, Drench is right, yo. You got to take what you can get. As of right now, the Miami Heat or the Toronto Raptors, if they're looking to add guard depth, you got Russell Westbrook, Gabe Vincent, DeMar DeRozan, or Bradley Beal. I still think some of those guys are good players.
Yeah,
it's a lot of people out there who think all 4 of them aren't good. However, if that's what you got, you have to choose out of one of them, or which one of them would choose you, and you have to work with it.
You got to just strategize around it. You got to just take what you can get. Like all of this, he don't do this, he don't do that. Like, you don't have a guy on your team that can do what he do too, though. Like, you're missing a piece. Regardless whether you get DeMar DeRozan or not, the Warriors need somebody that can get to the free throw line. That's an issue that maybe you can solve. Or you need somebody that can break down the defense other than Steph Curry. In this newsflash, DeMar better than Pods. DeMar's better than Pods right now. Like, so while we sitting up here talking about how does he fit? What about the motherfuckers on the team that don't fit? Like, god damn, DeMar better than Gary Payton Jr. right now. Like, that's my thing when it comes to, like, we use all of this shit when we wanted to use it. But at the end of the day, take what you can get, and it's up to a coach to coach the game that fits this well. You don't have to do it for 48 minutes. You don't have to. Like, for a point you do.
When the thing that I'm talking about with the Miami Heat, I feel like everything that he does, they need it. So the insulation that you talk about, well, we got Mitchell. We got Wiggins, we got Bam, and we got Giannis. So the insulation on defense, we got guys to protect him. So that's not a problem. So the shooting with Fontecchio and Tim Hardaway, we got that. So all we need is an in-between guy as a 2-guard, right? We need that guy to cause mismatches, a bigger 2-guard. And he's not going to play heavy minutes, but he's going to give me minutes. And on top of that, we're not going to get him in terms of being ridiculously expensive. We could probably get him on the cheap. And we can
Andrew Wiggins is not a great shooter.
I didn't say he was.
Bam Adebayo is not a great shooter. Davion Mitchell is okay, but he's not a great shooter.
Well, I'm not talking about those guys.
DeMar DeRozan is an unwilling 3-point shooter.
Okay,
are you trying to turn this Giannis?
So why does he time out? No. So why does he work on Toronto then?
Because we don't have creation off our bench, and we have to create.
That's the same thing with Miami.
That's what we say. It's the same.
That's literally the same exact thing.
You just want it to look the way you want it to look. That's the only issue.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm trying.
No, he just wants Toronto, which is cool. It's nothing wrong with that.
I'm trying to maintain my cool, but I don't think you understand how fucking annoying it is to watch someone be so dumb on the internet right now, Ron, and trying to talk like you're cooking. You're not cooking. Giannis and Kawhi are not similar
You
players.
you exactly.
Emmanuel Quickly and Davion Mitchell are not fucking similar players. They're not similar players. This ain't a similar roster structure. We got better defense. Whether you want to admit it or not, we got better defense.
No,
okay. What does this have to do with the offensive end?
You do not.
You keep yelling nonsense in my face.
What does this have to do with the offensive end? Pin, relax. We're having a basketball conversation. What does this have to do with
a nonsense conversation?
The Toronto Raptors defense is better than the Miami Heat defense with Giannis, Bam, Davion Mitchell, and Wiggins.
You're telling me you think the Wizards have a better defense than the Raptors?
You
said the Wizards have a better defense than the Heat.
I got a hot take about the Wizards too, by the way.
You said it like a week ago. So the Wizards have a better defense than the Raptors.
With Anthony Davis and with Anthony Davis.
The Wizards Wizards are going to be a better defense than the Raptors.
I'm here for
Hey
it.
man, chill. If you say it's not that bad of a deal. Like you got Anthony Davis, you got Alex Sarr. Yeah, like it's not that big. Just say yes.
But
It's a good pick.
I did just say yes. I did. I said yes.
I said.
Traded our worst two defenders, or two of our three worst defenders, added a rookie, granted may not play a lot, added Kyle Anderson and Kawhi Leonard. We were a top 5 defense last year, and you're telling me we're worse than the Wizards and the Heat. I can't make this shit up.
Yeah, because it's
I really can't make this shit up.
Well, Pin, it's context to it. Giannis just joined the Heat. That's number one.
Giannis is a better defender than Scotty Barnes. We talk
about team defense. We talk about team defense.
Anthony Davis just joined the Washington Wizards, and DeAndre Ayton just joined it too. I know a lot of Lakers fans gonna hate DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton is gonna prepare. DeAndre Ayton is gonna play way better on defense in Washington than he did in LA, just because you have the personnel around him. The Wizards got
this video.
Good defender.
Yeah,
that all got that big of a deal, though.
It's a contract year 8, and you gotta remember.
And not only that, what Dritch just said ain't no bullshit. How many times have we seen guys better offensively because they play around better offensive players? Why can't the same thing be said for guys playing defense? The same thing.
Eric Bledsoe's inability to be a corner shooter cost Giannis Antetokounmpo a potential shot at a ring in 2019. That one thing hampered it. Giannis is nowhere near the rim collapser that he is. He is a much better shooter, but he's not a 3-point shooter. You need spacing around this guy. My God.
So add in Fontecchio and add Tim Hardaway Jr. There's guys who stretch the defense.
Two more.
They're not going to play enough.
Did Shea need spacing around him to win the championship?
Shea had a generational defense, but yes, he did need spacing, and he didn't get enough of it, and that's why
they didn't shoot the 3-ball well though when they won the championship.
They didn't.
Okay,
and they nearly lost to Indiana.
They were
nearly lost is cool,
hey,
but
man, we were one Achilles
Adam
away
Silver did
from...
not come up to the podium and say congratulations,
they
barely
were one of the best teams.
He did not say
a lot of people's standard. They was one of the best teams in the world ever, and they didn't have great 3-point shooting.
Proper spacing. Look, we may not agree on basketball.
They had better perimeter creation.
We really may not agree on basketball.
He got good perimeter creation too.
On geography. I'm hoping that we can agree that two players cannot occupy the exact same place on the court at the exact same time. I think we can agree on the fact that when Ben Simmons lost that burst, that it was pretty much donezo for him because he didn't have the skill to play the 5 like people thought he could. I don't understand what we're doing here. I really don't. I don't understand how you can have Bam and Giannis, two players, by the way, that aren't exactly in most seamless fit. Like if you could pair Giannis with any big, it definitely wouldn't be Bam. Two guys who like to cook off the mid range. Two guys who like to pull up. Come on, they operate in the exact same places. So
I like them together.
Okay, so where is Giannis when Bam has the ball? He's sitting at the dunker waiting for a pass.
Pin.
They just got to run some action that makes
basketball. That's not how basketball is. It's not like basketball's not real estate. Like this is your block, and then this is your block, and then this is your block. You like players can move without the basketball. Players can screen.
We just watched one of the best spacing teams in the league win a championship. Do you know how they did it? Elite spacing.
Okay. Yeah, but
one of the best spacing teams won through elite spacing. I agree.
Yes. They had.
We also
had
saw
spacing concepts in practice.
Sure.
Right, where Mike Brown would have automatics. So certain places that you occupy on the court, when that place is vacated, you immediately occupy it. That made their offensive rebounding more efficient. That means the corners are always filled with dominant shooters like Landry Shamet, guys like Deuce McBride, guys like this. How can we as rational adults, watch what has worked for the last 7 years and say, nah, we're good.
Because the Thunder won it without.
The Thunder had
rational.
a spacing big in Chet Holmgren.
They didn't have
They
one
had
in
a
Isaiah
corner shooter.
Hartenstein, though. They didn't. Hold on. Go back. They didn't have one in Isaiah Hartenstein, though.
Isaiah Hartenstein is absolutely a demon inside of 14 feet. If Isaiah
What is
Hartenstein
Bam
did not
Adebayo?
have touch in the floater range,
What is Bam Adebayo? What is Bam
exactly the same
Adebayo?
thing.
What is Giannis?
Perfect. Exactly.
What is Bam? What is Giannis?
Who is your Shea in this team? Who is a guy who can
You don't
hit?
have to.
It's
That's
gonna
exactly
be
my.
Demar. It's
Nobody
gonna be
No,
said
don't,
the
Mark,
Thunder-
that's gonna be. Hold on. Mark, don't bail this conversation now with your British card sarcasm.
You guys gotta go.
Yeah, at the end of the day, this is the point that we've been making. Y'all think basketball has to look the way that you think it has to look because of what the spreadsheet said. It don't have to look one way. Eric Spoelstra.
Where did I mention the
despite-
spreadsheets?
Hold on, I'm not. If that's what I apologize if that's what you got caught up on. At the end of the day, Eric Spoelstra is one of the coaches that makes whatever he has, he makes it work. He makes the adjustments. He cooks around it. You figure it out. That's what coaches are getting paid to do in this basketball. I could argue a lot of coaches are getting fired because they keep trying to make stuff work one way. It does not have to do that. Pat Riley is a genius about basketball. He know way more basketball than the analytics guys has even forgotten, period. I said that wrong, but whatever. Y'all know what I mean. But at the same time, they're going to make it work. Do they win a championship? Who knows? A lot of things have to go right for it to win a championship. But they're going to make this space and work. There's a lot of ways Giannis and Bam can work. I can just name you one. You can get a high-low action between them two that will fucking dominate that shit. You can get transition. You can get ball screen and transition from Giannis and Bam that will dominate that shit. And now we open up something on the weak side for Fontecchio or even for Andrew Wiggins. You can get so many things that could work with this. Bam as a cutter alone can get better. Like, it doesn't have to be SGA the way they did. It doesn't have to be the Knicks. It don't have to be the way the Spurs will try to win. No, that shit don't have to be like that.
My question is when DeMar DeRozan, if he does decide to go back to Toronto, okay, he's a sixth man. Like, what kind of role do we have him at? Is he Lou Williams coming off the bench? Is he Jamal Crawford coming off the bench? How many minutes is he playing?
We got elite defenders off the bench, Joe. We got Jamal Shea, we got Jacoby Walter, we got Allen Graves, we got Colin Murray Boyles. These are really good defenders. Now, Allen Graves, wait to be seen, but at least we got Kyle Anderson. He's a very good defender. What you don't have is somebody who can actually create like real offense and be a complete basketball
You like Kyle
player.
Anderson as a good defender?
Kyle Anderson's an awesome defender.
When? Since when?
His whole
Kyle
career.
Anderson could play some defense. He ain't bad on defense. He could play some defense. Yeah.
But he's slow.
Which is the same problem that we got with DeMar DeRozan. Yes, which is the same.
Demar has more issues
He has
than
a
just being
7 foot
slow,
wingspan.
but yeah, sure.
Number one, he has a 7 foot wingspan. He has incredible hands. He plays positions really well.
I see.
It's
See
possible.
how it don't matter no more.
DeMar DeRozan is one of the worst defenders in the NBA. Kyle Anderson is at least an 85th percentile defender. You're not comparing apples and oranges. I know what you think you're doing.
Kyle
but you're
Anderson is not
doing
that
it.
good of a defender. He's an okay defender. He not no top 15 defender in the NBA.
85th
Well, he said
percentile does not.
He said 15%.
Yeah, but I
That's
get what
top
he's trying to
65,
say.
Top 70,
But
top 80.
he probably
He's a
not
top
even
80
that though.
defender.
Like nobody is worried
So
about
if
Kyle
this was the
Anderson
group-
playing. He don't play that long for us
So
to even care
that's
that
first of all.
much. Like
That's
he don't
first of
play
all.
that
That's number
long.
one. So if
Yeah.
this was open tonight, and
Good
we just
defenders
stuck
can
with
play for 5 minutes.
we just stuck
Jonathan
with
Isaac.
Penn.
But who cares?
So Penn, if we just
Yeah, I
stuck with
care
this
about
roster,
Jonathan Isaac
if we
defense.
just stuck with this roster
do too. That's
particularly,
different,
I just want to make sure that I'm following what's going on here. So if we stuck with this roster particularly on opening night, I got Quigley at the 1, I got RJ Barrett at the 2,
Quigley,
I got Leonard
RJ.
I got Leonard
Leonard.
at the 3. Who's playing the 4?
Scotty.
Scotty Barnes is playing the 4. Who's playing the 5?
Yak.
And I got Yak at the 5. Okay,
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
got DeMar DeRozan coming behind RJ Barrett.
Nope. You got DeMar DeRozan coming behind Kawhi Leonard because he is a backup small forward.
I got
and
DeMar DeRozan
you're-
coming behind. I got DeMar DeRozan coming behind Leonard, and when he comes into the game, because again, Drench has made this point, and I want to make sure that this point is hammered home. When I come into the game, I have a specific job when I come into the game, and remember who I'm replacing. I'm replacing Leonard.
We're
When I'm
doing
replacing
we're
him-
doing a clean swap of 2 players. We're going to replace RJ with Jacoby, and Leonard with DeMar, which
Okay,
means
so-
you end up basically doing the same thing in reverse, which is basically RJ being the not so great shooter becomes DeMar in the situation, and Jacoby being a really good corner shooter and a really good shooter overall becomes Kawhi in this situation. But offensively, it flips. So DeMar handles mid-post possessions, secondary ball handling duties. He progressed phenomenally as a playmaker in San Antonio. I think he really grew. He hasn't done as much of that in Sacramento.
Can we address the elephant in the room, no Pen? And the elephant in the room is
ego.
Kawhi Leonard just last month, about a week ago, he just turned 35. What's Kawhi Leonard's biggest issue been over the course of his career?
Injuries.
Okay,
and
so
passing.
when he goes out of the lineup, now that means that DeMar Derozen has to play more. So those things that you don't like about him, those things that you complain about with him, he's going to have to do that stuff even more now that he's out the lineup, because he's no longer coming off the bench.
When he is not in the lineup, Scotty would inevitably slide to the 3, and Colin Murray-Boyles would slide up to the 4, or RJ would slide to the 3, and Jacoby would move to the 2. We're not moving DeMar DeRozan in the starting lineup unless we face like a famine of injuries. The point here is his skill set is best minimized as a 2 guard or as a 2 to 4. Like, let's just say offensively a 2, defensively a 4. We can hide him. Chill. You watch the Cleveland series. Who did we put RJ Barrett on? Our weakest defender? We put him on Jared Allen because he can't guard.
So he can hide on the Raptors, but he can't hide nowhere else.
No,
chill. He still hasn't answered my question. You still haven't answered my initial question. How does he work on the Raptors, but he doesn't work on the Heat?
The Raptors
I just don't get it.
The Raptors are a better team.
But he doesn't have insulation. Scotty Barnes isn't a floor spacer. CMB isn't a floor spacer. You just self-admitted RJ Barrett can't space the floor. Pudo is the worst floor spacer out of everybody on both rosters. I'm just trying to figure out how he works on the Raptors, but he doesn't work on the Heat. Pin, you could just go ahead and say you want him to play for your team, and that's okay. But you can't say that he works on a team that is as deficient on offense as the Raptors.
Similar to the Miami Heat. They're very similar to the Miami Heat.
Offense. The Raptors were, hold on. First of all, the Raptors were top 10 in half-court offense last year. Do you want to acknowledge that, or do you want to just sidestep that?
No,
because you're casual.
No. Who's the best offensive player ever? We'll leave Jordan out of this. Actually, no. Keep Jordan in this. Who's the best offensive player ever?
Shaq.
Anybody else?
So now,
Kawhi. Hold on, Kawhi. Anybody else care to throw somebody else out there?
James.
Mike. All of them have deficiencies.
Toronto were 10th and Miami were 11th. That's what he's victory lapping right now.
Yes.
Oh
no. Mars, stop. Before we get,
that's what I'm saying. Very similar, Mars. That's what I said. They're very similar.
Okay.
And one team just
can you please, for fuck's sake, we didn't trade our entire roster to get Kawhi, did we? We traded a player that we were literally better on when he was on the bench. And Grady Dick, who played himself out of the rotation. We didn't trade Kalel Ware plus Tyler Hero. We didn't lose Norman Powell.
Tyler Hero played 30
lost
games
half of the fucking players you're talking about.
Well, no, Tyler Hero played 30 games and they were still number 11 in half-court offense. So
okay, you lose
and their offense,
all-star,
and their offense
you lost Kaspar Siakonis, who played sparingly but provided spacing. You lost Jaime Hawkins, who played a bulk of minutes. You lost Kalel Ware, not to mention all the picks you lost. You lost 5 players.
Why does the pick matter?
And you got
We're looking at the roster that they have right now.
Well, the roster we got right now was actually the roster that was there, except we replaced one mid post isolation scorer with the best version of that player in NBA history.
Miami's
or one of the best
players
players
with
in
Norman
NBA
Powell on the bench. Miami's offense was better with Norman Powell on the bench. Cool. And actually, all of these guys you're naming, none of the team's offense meaningfully changed without them.
So Tyler Hero was driving the half-court offense. Was it Eric Spoelstra or was it Bam Adebayo?
The system. This is the thing. The way the team plays can drive the offense. So yeah, Miami's offense was a 117 with Hero. It was a 116 without him, but he only played 30 games, so a small sample. It was a 115.7 with Norman Powell. It was a 116.7 without him. Yaku Chonis once again played very sparingly, but he saw the biggest difference from 119.8 to 115.2. But he was off the court for 2,700 minutes and was on the court for 700. Kalel Ware saw the biggest negative difference, 114.7 to 117.4. And he played about half the season. And then Jaime was 116.6 to 115.9. So everyone you named outside of Yaku Jonas, who played the least amount of minutes amongst everyone, the offense barely changed without them. So I don't think that would explain the half-court offense being 11th in the NBA.
And they just added Tim Hardaway and Bobby Portis.
Yeah, that wasn't explaining
and
just falling off a
and
cliff.
Giannis. They just added Tim Hardaway, Bobby Portis, and Giannis.
Is Bobby Portis at this
off
stage in his career an overtly positive player?
Yes, Bobby Portis
As a rotation guy?
I haven't thought Bobby Portis was positive for like 3 years, but you know.
But sure, I mean that's all cool.
We also haven't seen Bobby
Portis
Portis with Spo neither.
But apparently, Kawhi Leonard is the big.
Got long spaces.
Kawhi Leonard is the big injury risk, but Giannis is not.
Oh yes.
Why are we switching? Nobody. First of all, hold on. Pen. Don't do this. We switching the goalpost for no reason. Nobody even talked about Kawhi Leonard.
Toronto, I do. I think he fits
okay, that's
fine,
Toronto but he
satisfies a greater need, and honestly, he trusts the organization. I mean, he should trust this organization because we've been mending the bridges with him for 4 years. If he wants to get his jersey retired as a Raptor,
he should trust the organization that traded him when he thought he wasn't going to be traded.
Well, the guy who traded him ain't here anymore. He's in Dallas.
Same ownership is there.
The ownership has actually changed.
So they got a different owner? Okay, cool. Well, I don't know how you should trust him. He should be up in the air then. He should be up in the air. What the hell? He should go to the Miami Heat too. It's the same shit. It's really Penn. Nobody is like going at you about your logic with the Raptors. Ron has said repeatedly, like, it's okay if you want DeMar on the Raptors. That's cool. But he fits elsewhere too. It's not like he only fits on the Raptors because of the XYZ point that you made.
I don't think he fits on the Golden State Warriors. I don't think he fits.
Fair enough.
I personally don't think he fits. Like, you know where he could fit? Denver. I think he could
fit in Denver too. He can fit. DeMar can fit a lot of places. It just all depends on the way you see it and the way, if you understand that basketball can be played more than one way. It's not very many guys the way you just like, I'm just questioning the fit.
If he was a little bit younger, he'd be perfect in Detroit. If he was a little younger.
Probably so.
He's older now, so like the Detroit thing doesn't work. I don't like the Boston thing. I think they're good with the Knicks. Cleveland's already settled. Atlanta's good. Philly's good. Orlando, I mean, I think they're good.
No, that's too much of the same. That's too much of the same guys.
Yeah, I think Charlotte is already good with their guy and the tax cut guy. that's what Swiper calls him. I do like him in Miami. I mean, Milwaukee's just trying to get guys back. Chicago.
We're just only talking about contenders there. I think.
Yeah, that's what he said he wants to do. He wants to go to a contender.
Yeah, he don't want to play for somebody that's whack.
He should go to the Pelicans and make them a contender.
No.
What about the Rockets? I know they're not a contender right now, but like, what about the Rockets?
Nah, I mean, he would give us some playmaking, but I don't think that's. I mean, the Rockets did just get what's his name from the Clippers, Bogdanovic.
Bojan.
Oh yeah, they got
they got Bogdanovic, but
about that. Yeah,
I mean, but still, he could fit with the Rockets. I just don't see the Rockets as a contender, to be honest with you, unless they just pull off something amazing. I don't see the Rockets as a contender. Like get Kyrie Irving.
I am in the minority. I think James fits in Miami more than DeRozan off the strength that.
I mean, what would Mara say? Sky's blue.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron fits everywhere better than LeBron does.
Yeah, because he's a better player and the skill set is different. Yeah. I mean, I think that goes without saying. The question is
a better shooter, and probably
unless you need a pure isolation scorer, then DeMar would fit better. But that's the only.
No, I don't see no situation where LeBron
scores better than LeBron.
I don't know any situation that only needs a pure isolation scorer. But if they did,
even if they did, I still pick LeBron. By the way,
me too. But you know,
yeah,
but DeMar's still better in isolation. So shout out.
I think he's I still think he's a really good isolation player. I think the problem that we have is he that guy that he used to be? No, but I think he's better than coming off the bench. I do. I still think he has started in the league.
Chill. I could kind of agree with you, but his pathway to being on these teams more than likely will start off the bench. Now he could work his way up until the starting lineup, but more than likely with these contenders team, unless they just have a hole that just needs to be filled right now, he's coming off the bench.
Well, Jordan came off the bench with the Wizards. I know that sounds crazy, but Jordan came off the bench with the Wizards his last season playing with them. So.
Yeah, the Wizards are gonna be a damn good team. I'm tell you that right now. Like the
Washington when I said
gonna be
that,
a top. No, I apologize to Knicks fans in my next video coming out, but The Knicks could be one injury away, just like every team is one injury away from being like a bottom seed team, like as far as like 7 to 8 seed.
The Knicks going into
Like
they're Jalen Brunson injury away from being in the lottery.
Not even Jalen Brunson. No, not the lottery, but like a top. They're gonna be like 7 to 8. But they one injury, one OG missing 6 weeks or whatever from being like the 7th, 8th seed. But the
That's
Wizards,
because the East is gonna be so good. That's why.
yes. And the Wizards is going to be a good team. Like I'm telling you, the Wizards is going to be, I think, going to be like a top 6 team in the Eastern Conference, maybe a top 5. I do too. They got a really good roster. I want to do people realize that D'Angelo Russell's still on as of today. Now he could be moved, but D'Angelo Russell's still on that roster too. And I'm not that big of a D'Angelo Russell guy, but with the talent that the Wizards got, oh man, they got some guys over there because they got a bunch of defensive lineups that they can throw at different people, and they might got the most number 1, number 2 picks all on one team in NBA history.
Anthony Davis, Sarr,
AJ DeBonsa, D'Angelo Russell.
4.
Don't forget D'Angelo Russell too.
Yeah, he's number 2 pick in the draft. That's correct.
Yeah. Boy, that might be the most in NBA history.
That is correct.
I mean,
Yeah.
LeBron,
Dwight, AD. That's 3 number 1 picks.
There you go.
Who else was on that team? Was there another number 1 pick that snuck his way on there?
I mean, we're just talking 1 and 2s.
1 and 2s. And that boy, that's some shit that Wizards got going on. Did we
Well,
forgot about we always say AJ DeBonsa too?
Yeah, he said AJ.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, maybe.
Kyrie, LeBron, did they ever play with a failed number 1 pick? They must have.
I'm gonna just let y'all know we ain't gotta think that deep on it because I don't want to be wrong. So Mars, don't keep thinking. But at the end of the day, the Washington Wizards is gonna be a good team, bro. They got some lineups that can work, and they got the defenders. They got the defenders to where Trae Young on defense isn't gonna be too detrimental to that team. And
they got guys to insulate lineups. Yes, they do.
Yeah,
Wizards got like 3 defenders on that roster. But
no, Mars, don't do that. I think AJ is gonna be a good defender too. By the way, I think AJ is gonna be a good defender. I think Alex Sarr is gonna be a damn good defender. Anthony Davis, and I'm telling y'all, DeAndre ain't gonna be solid. DeAndre ain't gonna be solid. I'm telling you. Watch what I tell you. Dominating coming back for his contract year.
No, I think that's possible. I do think that's possible.
Keyshawn George gonna be all right. You see Keyshawn.
Yeah,
Keyshawn George?
I like Keyshawn George. Yeah,
and I know you hating on Bilal Coulibaly.
Shout out my dog.
There's another situation where the analytics absolutely disagree with you guys. You know, the Wizards are 5th in the Southeast Division for Southeast Division winner. There's only 5 teams in the conference, so the Heat, the Hawks, the Magic, and the Hornets are picked above them.
Well, yeah, because those teams are better than the Wizards.
They haven't played a game, though.
No, that's neither have the Sixers. They've moved up. Neither have the Raptors. They've moved up.
So
the Wizards remain.
The point I'm making is that doesn't matter right now. Like, if you look at the Wizards roster, there's no way you're gonna look at the Wizards roster and say this isn't a talented team. Like, it's no way we can look at from top to bottom.
That's not what we argue.
I don't look at it from a top 4 team in
the East.
But I don't look at it from an individual because
somebody said
how many times have we seen guys? How many times have we seen teams that individually shouldn't be doing things, but as a group they're way better? So I think about Anthony Davis and Alex Sarr as a group, like 2 guys together.
And DeAndre Ayton.
And I'm promising. No, Drench, like you laughing, like
I'm serious about DA.
You laughing, like I already said this. We say this all the time when we watch guys offensively. They're much better offensive players when they play with better offensive players.
No. Chill, hold on, chill. I'm not talking about his offense.
And we're gonna talk about
hold on, Mars. I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking about. I'm not talking about his offense. No, that's not what I said. I said defensively.
And okay, so Drench, let me make my point. Okay, so when he played with Chris Paul offensively, he was good. He was really good. He was a double-double guy. I think he was 18.
That was the last time DeAndre Ayton was good, about 2022. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you got Trae Young over there who's going to do some things.
Don't forget 2022. That wasn't 2018 when he first showed up. So he's playing with a better offensive player. He became a better offensive player playing with him. So to Drench's point, if I'm playing with a better offensive player, the same logic applies, even if it's only once, even if it's only for a season, the same logic applies when I'm playing with a better defensive player. As a group, I am going to be better. That has happened in the past. So DeAndre Ayton, who before he ended up Alex Sarr, before he got hurt or before he was out the lineup, DeAndre Ayton at one point was leading the league in blocks. That was going on with that was going on with Alex Sarr. Yes, he was leading the league. That was going on with Alex Sarr. Did I say DeAndre Ayton? I apologize.
Yeah,
Alex, I apologize. Alex Sarr.
I get what you're saying.
He was leading the league in blocks.
Right now.
So now I got to
no, because I'm trying to watch the game. So I hear DeAndre Ayton.
Oh,
He's led the league in blocks. Like, I'm carry on. Sorry.
So I got an elite shot blocker in. I got an elite shot blocker in Alex Sarr, who also is multi-purpose as a defender. He can step out and guard. He can step out and guard a four-man.
Alex Sarr is a really good player.
I got one of the most elite roamers in the game in Anthony Davis. When I had put these two guys together, my defense should get enhanced. And I got a super fast, super athletic rook coming into the game in AJ DeBonsa.
I think AJ DeBonsa is going to be a damn good defender.
I think he is too, Drench.
And to talk about it in a sense, what the Wizards did was pretty damn good. The fact that they didn't sell that number one, the fact that they didn't sell Anthony Davis.
Maybe they should have.
But hold on, chill. Whether it works or not, regardless, what you're doing with your rookie is totally different than what the Dallas Mavericks did with their rookie. Well, they tried to. But the idea that you putting AJ DeBonsa in, we're going to win season. We're not going to play in the lottery where you're going to just score all. We're going to put you in a position to where we damn near can make the playoffs, and we got enough talent on this team to where we're going to teach you the right way to play. That even if it does not work out between Anthony Davis, Trae Young, and all of them, you got the experience of playing meaningful basketball alongside, and they can show you what it looks like. And I think the Wizards should get more credit than what they should. I mean, than what they have been, for deciding we're not trading AD, despite what y'all talking about. I like the way that the Wizards are going, and y'all are asleep on Trae Young. I get it.
These is facts.
DA played with Luka Doncic. In my opinion, Luka Doncic and Trae Young are two different type of ball handlers and playmakers. I'm not saying DeAndre Ayton gonna be a 20-point-a-game scorer. I'm saying Trae Young will satisfy him enough to where he can shut the fuck up and stop thinking he's not Clint Capella, because he is that. But it'll look different. And then DA, he gonna drink his crunk juice and he gonna play alongside AD, and they gonna shut shit down. Mars, we don't gotta see it for 4 straight quarters. We just need to see it in spurts, because
and the spurts that matter.
Yeah, and the subs that they can make. All right, take DeAndre Ayton out. Let me put in Alex Sarr for them. I want to see a lineup. I'm not kidding. I want to see this lineup. I want to see Trae Young at the 1, DA at the 5, Anthony Davis at the 4. Nope, Sarr maybe at the 3, and then AJ DeBonsa. I want to see that lineup at least for like 2 or 3 minutes. I want to see that.
Ron, opening night's lineup will be Trae at the 1. I'm sorry. Yeah, Trae at the 1.
Of course, Trae at the 1, yeah.
Trae at the 2.
Keyshawn starting.
You think he's starting over Trae?
Yeah.
I hope.
Yeah.
The best player from last season should probably be starting.
Yeah. Trae has to. He got some steps to take.
Yeah, he's not starting.
He's not quite there yet. And on top of that, Keyshawn just a bad man.
So is Trae, like one of the best sharpshooters in the game.
Good problem to have.
Trae's not a bad man yet. And at least he hasn't shown us yet. He was just a rookie. He obviously has all the potential in the world. He was a lottery pick, but he got some strides he got to make.
Well, congratulations on making a rookie team, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a big deal.
Fellas,
our rookie of the year is a big deal.
I want to change.
Is a big deal.
I want to change gears though, because speaking of rookies, I want to talk about some of the summer league stuff and what we seen last night between Darryn Peterson, Cam Boozer, Darius A-Cup played last night.
Rookie team. Sorry.
Damn, so you made that up?
You didn't even make it.
You know what, Mars? Let's move this subject to what we saw last night, because I got a bone to pick with Mars.
We gonna get into that. And then Darius A-Cuff, Mikel Brown Jr. played last night. A lot of rookies played. It's obviously we're in the midst of the summer league right now, so we're gonna from here until the summer league ends, we're gonna be recapping all these games and these rookies and these players and stuff like that. But guys, we haven't read a single super chat today. So we'll get to those games in a second, but we got some super chats to check into. Pimp named Slickback sent through $9.99 and said, just letting y'all know, the Splash Brothers East arrived on the NBA scene last night. Mikel is the truth. He's a sniper with handles and elite vision. This new Jaeger with paint touches with already elite shooting.
And y'all say
They
I'm,
look good.
y'all
yeah.
say I'm
they look,
trolling.
they look promising. Yeah, that part, the smash program, yeah, obviously not. But
So
they
I did bust on
look
one of
promising.
them.
I did like the Jaeger, Michael Brown dynamic. I also like Tyler Bender though. I think he's decent.
Just don't get too over your head. There's some
So
of
maybe they did get the
some of
eighth
the
pick.
talent sucks.
So maybe they did. It does
For
by the way.
sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
it
Yes.
sucks.
That's why I'm not looking like for like the draw prospect, like whether or not you're putting up 30 or whatever, like it's more just watching how you look out there, make or
Yeah.
miss for the most part. Like, but Michael Brown, like he looks, you still have some of the issues I have in terms of like his pace as a driver and whatnot. But like you can see like the
Talent.
passing, the playmaking, the shot making, like the shooting ability. And then Jaeger, you can see like he's meaningfully improved. Like regardless of his summer league talent or not, you can see he's meaningfully improved. So that's kind of what I'm looking at when I'm trying to watch these summer league games. But if I was a Nets fan, I think those two are good building blocks to have if I'm the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
With Mikel Brown, because y'all remember I started out the season the highest on him out of all the point guards. After what I seen last night. Now he didn't have a tremendous game. He didn't go out there and score 30 and get 10 assists. But just kind of how Marsh said, just looking at the player, how he moves, how he operates, Mikel has something that I don't think any of the other point guards have. Kingston has it. Kingston's fast and he's quick.
What you was gonna say?
He has his athleticism is a different tier than the rest of the guys. And once again, Kingston got it, but he's just not as big as Mikel. Kingston's not finishing above the rim. Mikel can finish above the rim. On top of that, he has explosion, and he just. So I tweeted last night. I used the word quick twitchy. He's not Russell Westbrook or Derrick Rose, but for a point guard, he's extremely athletic. He got that quick twitch. He got that burst.
I think you sleep on Darryn Peterson is athletic. Darryn
Peterson is in a different group.
And I don't think he played a lot of point last night. I don't think he's gonna play point.
He's a combo guard. Like he's a pure combo guard. But
more of a two.
Does Michael Brown remind anyone else a little bit of Damian Lillard? Or am I reaching?
I gotta see. I got a 6'5" Dame. I can see that.
Yeah, like I see a little bit of Dame. Like just the way he plays out pick and roll. Obviously the range and stuff, the shot making. But yeah, I see a little bit of Dame with his game. I'm intrigued. He was my number 2 guard. He was my Darryn Peterson once again doesn't count. But like Kingston and Michael Brown were my top 2 guards in this class. So.
Yeah, I was thoroughly impressed with what I seen. And once again, it's not the stat line or anything like that. It was just the way he was moving. And if y'all didn't know, like last year at Louisville, he kind of had like an injury-riddled season. So being able to see him now, past the injuries and stuff like that, I just liked his burst. I liked how he was getting to his spots. And, that's one thing that you need from your point guard. You need somebody that can get downhill. You need somebody that can get to the rim and stuff like that. So I liked what I seen. And as of right now, the Clippers might be regretting it. Obviously, we haven't seen.
Ain't even seen him play.
Obviously, like just how you could say the Wizards might be regretting it because you haven't seen AJ, but you've seen what's his name look good.
Yeah, but I don't think the might be regretting it.
They might not. They might.
You tried to get that DP over AJ thing off earlier. Thank God you stopped yourself, but you tried. You tried very hard.
I would have took Darryn Peterson over AJ before the draft. So.
There you go.
Yeah,
but Ron, you were up here telling us that AJ was clearly better. You saw one summer league.
No. Check me out, because I'm gonna stay consistent with my logic.
Right.
And this goes to the Nate Mint thing. As a who's better today doesn't mean that you're going to draft them over the guy that is more of a prospect and more of a tool. I think that there are players that were better than Nate Mint last year. Darius Acuff was way better than Nate Mint last year. I probably would have drafted Nate Mint if I was the Bucks. Let's say the Bucks had the 5th pick.
I would you selling all your Darryn Peterson stock and going all in on AJ DeBonsa
because once again, AJ is a better prospect than Darryn Peterson. I guarantee you, AJ doesn't. I can't say I guarantee you. I most likely think that AJ's not going to have a better 2 games than the last 2 games that Darryn had.
They match up this week, right? Like
they play in a couple days.
What Drench said is true.
One of them not going to play.
First of all, the context of these games is truly trash. Okay, this is not necessarily what you would consider organized basketball. There isn't a great deal of scouting that goes into it. Your weaknesses are not being exploited. And these top level NBA athletes like Mikel Brown and Darryn Peterson and Cam Boozer, they're going to stand out big time because they're going up against guys who are 5-year seniors who are clinging to their dear life at 25 to hang on to an NBA contract. There are some summer league squads that are really good. I'm interested to see how players do against those teams.
Man, you know, I ain't really interested.
But Darryn just did it against the Grizzlies, who are probably one of the better summer league teams.
And
Agreed.
he
And
did it
Darryn
against
Peterson
NBA
and
starter too,
nothing-
Cedric Coward.
But Darryn Peterson's
Coward,
actual qualities as a basketball player, in my opinion, should never,
He gave
ever
his,
have been in doubt.
business
It
yesterday,
never
too.
have been in doubt.
I agree. I call Darryn Peterson the best guard prospect since Luka. So I've been.
Yeah, you also need to go back and since we just, you know, edging on this super chat, your ass need to also go back on that stir shit. That motherfucker suck, by the way.
No, he
That
doesn't.
motherfucker, he fucking suck.
I don't. Oh, is
Okay.
that what you was trying to run?
Yeah, I watched that shit and I'm just looking at that shit.
Which game did you watch? The horse game or
the one last night? Yeah, the one we
Yeah,
played.
I didn't catch a lot of that game.
Oh my god, bro! But some of the shit that I saw in the
watched,
first
like,
game,
first little bit, but then I stopped watching because you know
the some of the stuff that I saw in the first game, it was kind of like, you're getting away with it now because it's summer league. But
What did you
I'm telling
see?
you, go watch.
What did you see that he was
watch
getting away with?
some of those passes, like some of the way he passed, like the way he passed the ball, and like some of the reads were just too late. Like I knew my eyes wasn't tripping because when you go back and watch him play against the fucking Hawks, boy, that shit was ass. Some of the way he was getting into his shots, I might be saying hyperbolic. I might be hyperbolic, but I said he sucked. He definitely an OKC Blues player for sure. Like,
I wouldn't be. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's in the G League early on.
but that shit is too. It's like the game is too fast for him. It's like it's too fast for him.
He played
And
the
some of this
slowest pace in Iowa last year. It's going to take a little bit of an adjustment to pull him up. And someone's saying he's 25 in the chat. Shut up. He's 23.
That kind of makes it a little bit worse for the shit that he going through. But I'm not one of the ones. I'm not one of the ones that you can be 23 and still.
When I'm like Yaxel is an NBA player. Like I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was just about to say. Yeah, I was just about to say that.
Physical
Yaxel
advantages
really
at this
good.
level.
Yeah, Yaxel's really
Physical advantages at this level are going to get you very far. Yaxel Landenberg is a solid 250 pounds.
He is a grown up. He's
grown up.
Like I mean, yeah,
and people don't
He's
know
an
that.
6'9", 250. He's basically the same size as LeBron. Okay.
Yeah, but people don't understand him
He's huge.
starting late too. Him starting late to basketball. Yaxel starting late was good for him. Like sometimes starting later playing basketball is really, really good for you. And I think that's really helping Yaxel out. Like he's older, he still got that same, that same excitement as a young 21-year-old, 20-year-old. And his game is developing. He's an NBA player. Whether I don't give a fuck if he was 27. That motherfucker
Absolutely,
NBA
he's
player.
an NBA player.
But
I like
the Sturz kid, I'm just like, I can't see how the Thunder can play him today. I cannot see that.
Yeah.
Did Brooklyn? Are they on the right path with Jaeger? Because I think they are.
Yes.
I think that they on
Yeah,
the right path.
I think him and Mikel Brown are foundational pieces for them. Everyone else they drafted, no, but those two, yeah.
Which goes back to my original.
They didn't
logic.
bust on all 5 of those dudes.
Yeah, somebody had to, like one. We got to get it right with one of these dudes. Like we can't get it wrong with all 5 of them. I think that's the terminology that I
Ben
use.
Seraph redemption season gonna hit like crack.
Badly wrong on a couple of them. Drake Powell sucks. He just sucks. Ben Seraph sucks. Danny Wolf sucks. And Nolan Traore,
I thought Danny.
No, he sucks too. Nolan Traore.
He does.
Yeah.
He just sucks.
I thought Danny Wolf was going to be a lot better.
I saw all of them
Michigan,
play in
I'm not a big
Houston. That
Michigan
shit was
guy.
sickening.
But I thought that Danny Wolf was going to be better. But Jaeger, it looks like one of the main things with him is that he's gotten stronger. That definitely helped. Now he ain't 25 pounds stronger. And I was like, whoever said that, that's some bullshit because he did not put on 25 pounds of diesel. No, he didn't. But I think that that's helped him get to the rim. His handle look like it's getting tighter, and I like that. I don't have a huge gauge, if I'm being honest with you guys, when it comes to summer league. But what I look for when I watch summer league is I'm looking for tendencies, like things that we can build on when I watch a guy.
That's
like,
what I'll be looking for.
For example, Ron, and I don't know if we can get to the subject yet, but Darryn Peterson has something that I don't think can be taught, and that's poise. He doesn't look afraid. He looks very stable.
Sometimes he speeds up though, chill. Sometimes he speeds up.
Here's the difference though,
8
Drench.
turnovers, but okay.
But here's the difference.
I don't think those turnovers are due to a lack of poise. But
it wasn't.
It was one turnover. He had one turnover last night where it was like, oh damn, you got sped up. But once again, like I'm not saying I'm not. And he might have just misdribbled it. But I'm not saying that to knock him. I'm saying like that happens to everybody. Every point guard. If you have 12 assists, by the way, he had 12 assists last night. Everybody in the league is gonna have 1 or 2 turnovers.
For sure.
Yeah.
So like that,
but he made some adjustments from the first game coming off the pick and roll to the second game. Like I saw, like in college, the first game he came off pick and roll and he expected a big to be there in the spot. He threw that shit away. The second game he comes off the pick and roll, they get the same action, and I saw him look like he was about to throw it, and then once he saw that defender helping over, he dragged that shit back out, and I was like, okay, he definitely watched film like he said he was gonna watch film. So those are the type of things that I'm seeing Chill. Like he definitely had that poise, and it's an adjustment. College game is totally different from the NBA. He speeds up a little bit when they put 2 on the ball.
But here's the difference though, Drench. Like he doesn't. I remember John Wall talked about like when he was a rookie, when he would get double teamed, he would panic. Where he's just he come back and he's just looking to just get rid of the basketball. Darryn Peterson doesn't really strike me as that kind of player. He still looks under control when he gets jumped. He still looks under control when he's got a bigger guy on him. The Utah Jazz are notorious, even though this is not going on now, but I remember when years ago when they had Stockton and Malone, they used to run this offense, which I want to see Darryn Peterson in. I want to see him playing off the ball. I do. I want to see him playing off the ball.
For sure. Yeah,
for sure. But here's the difference though, Mars. I want to see him playing off the ball where we're running quick things for him. That's what I want to see. But
that's
I also
the Utah offense.
Yes,
that's what they do.
And I also
don't play no fucking defense.
But I also want to see offense with him where we get him in isolation, but we get him in isolation where he can score fast, like the pick and roll stuff. Yeah, with the Jazz, they used to run this offense with Stockton and Malone, and they used to get Jeff Hornacek involved in the action with. Malone's at the high post at the left corner. Malone's at the high post. I got Stockton on the right wing, and I got Hornacek with the basketball. So Hornacek throws the ball to Malone on the right. Stockton, I'm sorry. Hornacek throws the ball to Stockton on the right wing. While he's throwing the ball to Stockton, he's coming off the UCLA cut, which is right down the gut, which Malone is setting. While he's doing that, he immediately, kind of like what's going on today when you got that double pick. So he sets that pick on Stockton, sets that pick on Hornacek. While Hornacek is emptying out, he immediately goes and sets a pick for Stockton. Now I got a 2-man game between Stockton and Malone. While Stockton's coming downhill, I got a double screen on the weak side of the floor with Hornacek, and Hornacek is coming out of that where he's knocking down an open shot where he's wide open. If that doesn't work, we got motion action working. I kind of want to see Darryn Peterson and stuff like that. That's not complicated. It's quick hits. It's stuff
they do that. They actually do that. They just use a different spacing for it. They do it. They'll run a ball screen up, and it's a shake action. They'll run like a little ball screen up.
What is shake action? So I'm following.
Where one roll to the basket, and then you'll see the guard kind of lift up, and they kind of
lift up to the wing. Yeah.
So they do run it. It's just the spacing is a little bit different.
I'm pretty sure the terminology today, Drench, is wild as hell. So I want to make sure that
it is. It's because it's more so European terminology. That's why.
Okay. I got
you. We've come take over your game,
for sure.
You ain't European, Mars. You from England. That ain't the same thing. Stop the bullshit.
I'm from wherever I identify as from. But
that's
from Alabama. So you from America then?
I'm from wherever I identify on the day.
You identified at Alabama. I'm sorry, Drench.
But I was just gonna say they run that type of action. It's just a lot faster, and that's why because we have some good, brilliant minds in the NBA, but if we slow it down, you'll see it. Like they run it, but I think they run it too fast to where it could be missed, and the NBA just switch everything. So sometimes you just don't see it. But I think we got to get back to running actual actions with a slower pace.
Please.
Because the league is starting to get too talented. And the reason why I'm saying it, for example, Keyshawn George and Darryn Peterson all on one team. If you play fast pace and just let Keontae George. Yeah. But if you play a fast pace where one is handling the ball, like people saying we got to let what's his name control the rock and shit like that, I think that could hurt them in the long run because it'll take them out of rhythm. But if we can start running some actions to get both of them moving and to get options, like once the defense is set, yeah, it's a little bit harder to score, but if we can run actions where they have multiple options, I think it gets easier for the offensive team when you have talent like Darryn Peterson and Keontae George who can create off the bounce quickly, but in different spurts. So that's why I want to. And you still got Jaren Jackson Jr. who's going to give you some options. You still got Larry Marketing who you can put in different. Like Utah can be really good if they don't play that wild west type of
Jordan, you first off, you're 100% right. But that's not about to happen.
I know, but I think that's gonna hurt. I think that's gonna hurt either Keontae George or Darryn Peterson. I think it's gonna hurt them.
It's gonna hurt all of them because I'm gonna tell you what Utah's problem is gonna be. What? And this is why they can't. This is why you can't get into slower actions, and this is why nobody really runs half-court sets because every time. And this happened last night, and I got pissed. It actually happened in the Seattle Storm game. So I watched a bunch of summer league games, and then late at night I watched the Seattle Storm game. Dominique Malonga had a small on her in the post, and she had her sealed. All Flage had to do was throw the ball to her. It literally was a layup. She would have caught the ball and laid it up.
On the Grizzlies summer league team.
Flage literally stepped into a transition three. I'm talking about she just got across half court. Stepped into a transition three. That ain't like just. But she made it though. But in the words of Sean Higgins, one of my old coaches who played in the NBA, won a championship in Michigan, and you guys have heard Ox say this before. It's a bad shot, and it's an even worse shot that she made it because now she's going to do it again. I'm saying that to say the Utah Jazz are going to just shoot the first three they can get. Anytime Keontae George, it's like even if they get a sliver of daylight, Keontae George is going to shoot it. Laurie Marketing going to shoot that shit. Jaren Jackson going to shoot it. Darryn Peterson going to shoot it. All of these guys are going to get up anytime they see a sliver of daylight. They're going to shoot the three. And here's the thing: I'm not anti-3. But my thing is, you can get that shot anytime. Laurie Marketing can get a three anytime he wants to. Keontae George, you can shoot a step back three whenever you want to. Darryn Peterson, you can shoot a hang dribble three whenever you want to. Jaren Jackson, you can get a pick and pop or catch and shoot three whenever you want to. What you can't always get is a good layup. You can't always get good action where you get a good open shot and things of that nature. So it's like drench your right, but they're not going to slow it down to do that because they're not going to pass up those threes.
I agree, but I'm saying since we talking basketball, right? And I don't want everybody to say like that's the way that the league should go because I'm not saying that too. There's flow states in the game where a guy just in a flow state and you just let him cook. Mm-hmm. You're not in newsflash NBA. These motherfuckers ain't in flow state from the tip off. Like, shit, three. No, you're not in that flow state. And I think like if you go to Europe, they play 10-minute quarters in Europe, okay? And in Europe, they use similar concepts as the NBA. The only difference in Europe is like the last 6 seconds on the shot clock. They use that shit for the isolation shit. Like, all right, it's 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Here, fuck it, you go ahead.
For the most part, the ball is moving.
The ball is moving from side to side, and that's
holding on to the ball.
That shit is so hard to guard. Now people would be like, "Well, they score less points." Yeah, because they fucking play 10-minute quarters. That's another thing. They play 10-minute quarters, and the EuroLeague game is really physical. But for the most part, though. The Jazz got a lot of talent on their team, and I know they come from not winning. They haven't been winning over the last couple of years. If they just capitalize, they are a walking nightmare because everybody on their team can put the ball in the basket in some way. I'm talking about in their starting lineup. Damn, they're on their team, though, because they got guys on the bench.
Keontae George is like night and day in terms of a bucket getter from when he showed up. Like, he's way different as a bucket getter today than what he was back then. And Darryn Peterson is another guy, like I just talked about, in terms of his ability to just stay in a certain space and not let you speed him up or slow him down. It kind of reminds me of SGA, what he could be, not as a player, but in terms of his poise, just being able to just slow down, not get sped up.
On nobody yet.
I'm not saying
that boy is special.
I'm not saying that he's SGA as a player. What I'm saying that his ability to just be within himself, not get sped up, not get slowed down, just play at my pace. That's what that reminds me of. And that's kind of, and that's when I think about a player being great. Penn, I feel like I could teach you the other stuff. Like, I can't teach you how to slow yourself down, Like you a nut up here.
Or you can teach them that. It just takes some time.
But some guys just
Not everybody gets it.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
That's what I mean, Drench. Some guys are just nuts upstairs and they just can't slow themselves down and they can't process the game. When I see a guy play with that kind of poise, what that tells me is that guy is a better processor than a lot of people are. Like he sees the game different. He sees the game faster but slower than faster but slow. Slow in the aspect where I can see this happening and this happening, but I'm not speeding myself up. And I really like that about him. And I'm really enjoying like seeing him turn into something special.
Hey, Mars, you know, despite what you may think, I saw Keontae George in high school, right? The first time I saw him, the one thing that stood out to me from Keontae George was he was a really good defender. I hope he can get back to that. I'm dead ass serious. That's bro. He used to play for Southern Assault. He played for Southern Assault. It's they were Adidas team at the time. And they were in this tournament. And the first time I saw him, I was like, yo, who the fuck is that? He was like a junior. Like, yo, who the fuck is that? Dog, he was clamping shit. And he had dunked that shit on the other end. And then I saw him again in senior year. He was still clamping shit. But he was way better on the offensive end. I hope Keontae can get at least back to the mindset that I'm going to compete on the defensive end because he has it in him. I'm telling you, he had that shit in him. Like,
Trent, you know what helps with that a lot though, like playing defense,
playing against high schoolers,
winning.
No.
Winning. When you play with guys like a Jaren Jackson Jr. and then when you add other defenders too, like it's gonna make you have to raise your level of defense. When you go to the Warriors, you're gonna have to play defense in some capacity. Even if you're not a good defender, you're gonna have to at least attempt to buy in. Like the Jazz have been trash. Keontae George hasn't really had to. They're losing anyway, so it's like I don't really have to compete as much as I should and all of that.
Penn, let me tell you something. That tournament, the tournament that I'm talking about, let me tell you, most of them guys right now are either getting paid high money in college or they're in the NBA. You know who's in that that tournament? Muhammad Gay, Reed Shepherd, Mikey Williams. You know, you can say what you want to say about Mikey Williams. Adem Bona. It's another guy that was in that same.
And he was locking those guys up.
He was locking. He was on Reed Shepherd's ass. I'll tell you that though. Reed Shepherd probably won MVP of the tournament, but he was on their ass. Like he was high level. He was high level guard.
And you got
because it's more than one game.
Well, you played
more than one game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but that tournament was a high level Adidas tournament. It wasn't like I watched anybody can go. It was like a high level Adidas tournament, and I think the Midwest. I want to say Reed Shepherd team won for sure.
I watched Darryn Peterson be like a beastly defender at the high school level, and he was actually pretty good last year too. I watched AJ be a really good defender in high school, but it slipped a lot last year with BYU. So I'm actually curious to see those guys. I don't think Keontae George is ever going to be a good defender at the NBA level.
I think he can be better. I don't.
He can be better. I don't think he's ever going to be good. He can be better because it's impossible to be worse. That's the way I would look at it. Yeah.
Shit, I don't think he be trying though, Mar. That's like I was going back watching some shit. His ass don't even be trying. Like when I saw him for Southern Assault, the stance he got in and the way he was sliding his feet and how aggressive he was and shit, I'm like, damn, he can do that. He can at least get back to that. I don't know if he'll be a first team all type of guy, but I'm just saying he can start holding your own. That's what I'm saying. Just start holding your own.
This sounds like to me, and Drent said it like when you see somebody do something, like you've already shown me that you can do it. You've already shown me that you can play defense. Okay, I can appreciate Penn at its high school, but you've already shown me
that was a different level of high school, though. Chill.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's high. Like
that was a fucking different level of high school.
But even with that being said, you've shown me that you can play defense. So like it's there. Now we just got to teach you the other parts of it. Like the effort is clearly there. It's just now a matter of when we get to that next level, can you continue to improve at this? The effort is really the only problem that we're having. It's not the know-how, because in the end, I mean, sure, yes, Mars, I understand that in the NBA, offenses can be really complicated. But a lot of this stuff we do overcomplicated. A lot of this stuff is getting down low, my center of gravity, getting around the screen. A lot of this is slipping the screen, it's called a swim through, slipping the screen and fronting the guy. Like a lot of this stuff isn't that complicated. I'm not gonna say that the NBA offense isn't, but a lot of this stuff in terms of fundamentals, if you've already shown me that you can play defense, we can teach you the
I
other
watched
stuff.
DeMar DeRozan guard at Compton. It doesn't scale. I watched Vince Carter guard in college. He didn't become a great defender. Not that he couldn't have, but he just didn't.
It's different, Penn, because when I've told you that now you're going to be this, and this is all we expect you to be. Those two things are not the same. So when Amari
you could tell me you don't
says,
expect him to play defense. If I'm a winning player, I'm going to play defense.
Amari Stoudemire said that nobody ever taught him how to play defense. This is an old
Chillin' Pin. I want to bring this back to Darryn Peterson versus Cam Boozer and talk a little bit more about that matchup. Yep. We obviously had the number 2 pick versus the number 3 pick last night. What are some of you guys' takeaways? Darryn Peterson, he had 25 and 12, couple steals as well. Shot very efficiently. Cam Boozer, he had it was 18 and I'm not sure how many rebounds he had.
4, I think.
18, 4 rebounds, I think 3 assists.
18, 7, and 4, I think.
The thing about Cam Boozer that I think a lot of people just naturally just wrong, and they just gonna be afraid to admit it. Even though the summer league sucks again, he does the same shit he did in college, like the exact same shit, except the floor is a little bit more wide open for him. So you'll start to see some of his passes, and the angles that he can pass and the way he processed the game. That was always my number one when it came down to Cam Boozer. He processed the game better than all of the other prospects for me. I don't think he will be the best player out of all of them, but if anybody is almost penciled in to be consistent with an 18, 8.5 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists for a stretch, it's him, especially playing for the Memphis Grizzlies. But Cam Boozer processed the game very fucking well, and that's why I think he's going to be a terrific NBA player, like, for years to come.
Cam and Darryn have both been really, really promising. In the opening 2 games. I don't think Darryn had a great game 1, but you still saw, like, the shot making and stuff. That's, like, the allure. And then game 2, I think he was the best player on the court. He was amazing. And then I think Cam's just been, like you said, he's been consistent. We're at level 3 of Cam Boozer's not going to be able to be this level of player once the physicality and people get stronger and whatever. First, it was high school to college wouldn't work because of that. Then it was now I guess college to the G League and to Summer League, and then it's going to be Summer League to the NBA. But
then it's going to be he not an elite floor spacer. It's going to come in.
It's going to be something because ultimately people have their preconceived notions, so they're going to try and figure it out. But yeah, I think both teams, Jazz, Grizzlies, I don't think they can have any complaints about who they drafted early on. It's like, once again, I don't think Darryn Peterson, if he would have came out and scored 12 points, would have been like, oh, he's a bust. But you can watch these guys play and you can see why they were drafted where they were. Like, there's no, you can see it, in my opinion. Like, that's it, you can see it. And I think that's what you're looking for in some leagues. Can you see why they were taken where they were taken? Once again, no disrespect, when Anthony Bennett got taken. When after you leave those games, you're like, how did he get taken number 1? When Risa Shea got taken, it's how did Risa Shea get taken number 1? With guys like Darryn, Cam, we'll see what AJ looks like. I think you're gonna leave Caleb, you're gonna leave Summer League like, okay. Even if they struggle, like they might struggle from the field, you can understand how teams saw what they saw. So I think that's what you're looking for with these.
He literally did that yesterday, Mars, to your point when you talked about the physicality. Like, there was a play, I want to say it was in the 3rd quarter, where the ball got swung on the right side. Cam Boozer is diving to the right box, and he just out physicaled whoever was over there and got the ball, got fouled, got fouled, and then went right back up and dunked the basketball. This is a kid, by the way. Like, when he gets stronger, right? When he gets stronger and understands how to play in that space, I think he's going to be even better. And I think that you guys got on my case about this. I know I sound old here, but fellas, the mid-range game is coming back. The mid-range is coming back into the NBA.
Last year, 2 points were worth more than 3 points.
Yes, sir. The mid-range is coming back into the NBA, and we're going to see more of that. And not only are we going to see more of the mid-range coming back, we're going to see even more spacing, because now you got guys cracking the long ball And now my 4-man, Jaren Jackson, Bobby Portis, just to name a few, just an example of guys who are able to knock down a 17-footer. Now that expands my offense even more. So to Drench's point about the analytics, the mid-range game is coming back. 100%.
So you're saying that by way of Darryn Peterson?
Not just Darryn Peterson. I expect to see Boozer. I expect to see Boozer there too. I do.
He shot 2 in game 1. He hasn't shot 2 the whole year at Duke.
Yes,
but that's more of a Duke system thing. Like,
yes,
anyone who
analytics.
Yeah, they layups, threes, and free throws. That's kind of how they. Like, you look at his high school stuff. He did shoot the mid range more. He wasn't like the most effective, but like he was willing to shoot. He also looks like he slimmed down. He did
look like he lost some weight.
He slimmed down from where he was at Duke. But like obviously he's still got a physical advantage in terms of strength.
Sure.
But yeah, I just think Darryn and Cam are really good.
I can't wait to see Cam and
they were my number 1 and my number 2. So
if you had an ideal
Caleb
situation, would you slot Cam at the 4 or the 3? If you had an ideal situation, because he's going to play probably the 3.
I think he's
right now.
They're going to use him in both, but I think he'll start games. I think their starting lineup will be some lineup of Ty Jerome, Cedric Coward, Zach Edey, Cam Boozer as the 4-5, and then that 3 spot will be Jalen Wells or Jeremy Grant, depending on how they feel. Probably Jeremy Grant. But they will go to lineups where Cam Boozer is playing the 3 for sure.
I like the Smalls kid. I liked him last year though.
I think Javon Small is good. I think he's a good third guard to have. They obviously got Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr., who I like more. But I like Javon Small. I think Walter Clayton is in for let's see if he can have a good year 2, because year 1 was not great for him, but we'll see what year 2 holds. I think the Grizzlies have a good roster. Like, that's where I stand. I think they have a good roster. I think they can be competitive. I also think the Jazz can be competitive. And like we said, the Wizards. Like, I think it's a good thing. In the Western Conference, I just don't think they're going to be a 20-win team. I think they're going to be a team where you play them on any given night, they can beat you. Does that mean they go 500? Probably not, because once again, the West is so strong. The whole league is so strong. It's going to be hard to win a lot of games. But they're definitely not just going to. They're going to play to win. I'll say that they're going to play to win.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think it's a good position to be in when all of the top 3 picks, who I deem to be really high level, are all on teams that are playing to win games. Now, how successful they are in that quest is yet to be seen, but none of those teams are playing to lose, which I think is good in terms of building good habits.
I think, to your point, Mars, I think that Cam Boozer, I think he's going to be an elite rebounder, by the way, offensive rebounder particularly.
For sure, yeah.
That's why I got to play him at the 4. And I think that him on the defensive side, I don't think he's going to be a great defensive player, but I think he's going to stop a lot of plays as a rebounder. So I would love to play him at the 4 more than at the 3 spot, because I don't think athletically, when we start to get up and down with these slimmer wings, these hyper fast, super athletic wings, I just don't like I don't like him in that space. But I love him at 6'9", 245, 250 pounds against other 3s where we get mismatches, and he's sliding to the block or playing in the mid range and able to size those guys up and go after them. I just love him at the 4 more than anything. Now, Mars, I know how you feel about Jeremy Grant. I want the future to be now. So I'm playing Wells. Fuck that. I want the future to be right now. I'm not sitting on this kid, Jeremy Grant. I do understand the contract and I do understand the money. But these 4 guys with Wells, Edey, Boozer, and Coward, these are my future. And I want these guys to play right now. And as I was saying, Moss,
Kareem Lopez should be there in Vegas. We'll see him.
Like I was saying, Moss, I want these 4 guys to play right now, because I think I don't have a lot of time with these guys. I got them on rook deals, and I need to maximize these guys on these rook deals. I can't be waiting till year 2 or year 3 to hope that this dude pans out. I need to find out where these dudes are right now.
I would probably do the same. Jalen Moss had a lackluster year 2 compared to year 1, but I would probably still go with them. But if you want a little bit more like offensive punch, I can understand going with Jeremy Grant. But yeah, I'm higher on the Grizzlies roster than most people. I need some people saying that their roster sucks, but I think a lot of it depends on if Zach Edey's healthy though. But
I'm on that side. I really don't think this is a good team. I do like some of the pieces, but they
In terms
really
of their
just
core, Ron. What is it about their core? Don't you like? Is it because
the
they're kids? Is that what it is?
So let me just address the elephant in the room.
Okay.
Cam Boozer is a great player. I personally don't think he's going to be one of those 1A guys. I have concerns. I still have concerns with the athleticism. Now he could shoot the piss out the ball.
I don't think he's a 1A guy either.
He can do that.
Matters, I don't think he has to be a 1A guy.
I don't even know if he's a 2.
But Ron, he's
respectfully.
consistent at 18. I think he can give you 18 a night.
Yeah, and that's cool. That's that's
his best stretch?
Not at his best. I'm just saying consistently. Like, if it is, I'm not the one to say that's his best or not, because we've seen some crazy shit happen in this NBA. Yeah. But I'm saying consistently from his skill set that he has right now that's been transferring over, like Mars said, for basically 3 levels now, I can see 18 and 8 a night. Like, and if he can do that for a 10-year career, like, God damn. I mean, everybody don't have to be a superstar.
No, for sure. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great player. And that's a great number 3 overall pick too. Like we get caught up in this idea where if you're a top 5 pick, yes, we get caught up in this idea. If you're a top 5 pick, you gotta average 30 and you gotta make it's Cam Boozer for sure. Okay. But like, you just because you're a top 5 pick doesn't mean you have to be a perennial all NBA guy. That's just not how that works. If he's an 18 and 8 guy, that's cool. But what I'm saying is I don't think the Grizzlies, especially right now, they don't got that guy. They don't got somebody that's gonna
Cedric Coward. Shout out Cedric Coward.
Cedric looked good last night, even though he thoroughly got outplayed by Darryn Peterson. But Cedric's not that guy. Cedric's never been that type of. I'm not saying he can't develop into being it. I'm just going based on who I've seen him to be. Because Cedric played right down the street at Washington State. Yep. So who I've seen him to be, and he played at Eastern Washington. Who I've seen him to be,
he's gotten better. He's gotten better.
I get that, but he has to take. He's not that right now. He has to take strides to become that. So chill. He will what?
And okay, first of all,
he will what? No, not first of all, he will what?
He will get better as a defender. Let's not.
No, not a defender. We're talking about that guy on offense. A guy to get me 25, 27.
Nah, he's not that guy.
That's what I'm talking about, though. I don't think right now the Grizzlies have that guy. Mars asked me, or one of you guys asked me, why don't I think that they'll be good this year? Chill, was you to ask me. I don't think they'll be good because they don't have that guy yet. And I don't know if they have 2 of them guys like Darryn or Cam Boozer's good, but they have a bunch of projects. Jalen Wells is a project. Cedric Howard is a project. Zach Edey is a project. And they weren't good to start Giannis's career.
Okay.
So I'm talking. You asked me this year why I don't think they'll be good because they have a bunch of projects. They have guys that they have to develop, which is nothing wrong with that. And even to Mars's point, we're actively trying to win. We're not tanking. We're actively trying to win. So that means I get to roll my projects out. I get to roll my projects out, and they get to compete, and they get to work on their games, which is cool. But I don't.
And in the process of doing that, Ron,
if they win more than 24 games, I will be surprised.
But in the process of doing that, to your point about not knowing about if we got our guy, in the process of that, you are going to see what you do have, because again, Cedric Howard, for all intents and purposes, super athletic, got his ass kicked last night on defense. You know what? That's what happens when you're a defender. You're gonna get your ass kicked.
He was playing good defense, to be fair.
It wasn't like Darryn Peterson was just kicking his ass and he wasn't doing nothing about it. Like, he was making tough shots. That's the downside to being a defender. You're going up against really good players in the NBA, and you're gonna get your ass kicked from time to time. Some of the best players on defense. I've seen Drew Holiday get his ass kicked. I've seen Damian Lillard get shut down as a great offensive player. That happens, right? So I say that to say, throughout the course of the season with this Memphis team, you are going to see stretches where I might have my guy. But of these four guys, Boozer, Edey, Wells, and Coward, I think you got the formula, Ron. It's just a matter of how you putting these dudes together and how you playing these guys. I think you got the formula.
Yeah, I'm not trying to, because I like all 4 of these guys. I really like these guys. You guys heard how I used to speak about Zach Edey. It was me and Ox debating tooth and nail with you guys that he would be a good NBA player. I like Cedric. He's a a defender, hard-nosed guy. Jalen Wells, also he played for Washington State too,
Yep.
Out of Sacramento. But these are also guys which, and I understand like you can develop and certain guys can get better. But once again, none of these guys were that guy. Cam Boozer was, but like these other guys, they weren't that guy. Jalen Wells he wasn't a 5-star prospect. Even coming out of college, he wasn't projected to be an elite offensive player or have those tools. Same thing with Cedric Coward. Zach Edey obviously has his limitations. So I think that they'll be good players. I just think that they're all probably high-level role players at some point. And then Boozer, he'll kind of teeter between being a high-level role player and being like an all-star. I think he'll probably get a couple all-stars, but that's just kind of where I see him.
Fair enough. Yep.
The GOAT has been dethroned. Damn.
What you talking about?
Argentina are down 2-0 to Egypt.
Dang.
I haven't seen the game. Is my guy getting busy?
Is your guy Saleh?
Yes.
Yes, Tyler. I mean, yeah. I mean, he winning. I don't think he's been like the best player on the pitch, but he winning. So,
He's
doing his part.
It's like walking into the NBA and I'm trying to figure out a guy that's in the NBA that's been in there for a long time, and I'm just finding out about him. Like, yo, this dude is nice. Like, he's been in the league for like 14 years, right? I don't even know that. Yeah.
Yeah, I decided to make my get like more familiar with football history, because obviously my football history is very like segmented based on when I watched. I watched more in like the late 90s, early 2000s. So I don't really know this guy was that good. And I looked up Bleacher Report's greatest footballist of all time. He was like, I want to say top 50. He was like 36 or something. Like I was like, shit. Egypt got one of them ones, huh? It's pretty good.
Shout out to him.
Man, I don't know shit about football.
Oh, I'm a casual, Drenchy. I
only know NFL football. No, I'm worse than you. I just found out when I went to a soccer game why the fuck the clock goes up. I just be like, bro, why the fuck this shit keep going?
I do know about that.
40 minutes and now it's on 45 minutes, and then like, what the fuck are we doing? I just figured that shit out.
Yep.
I'm telling you, that's how bad I am. I don't know nothing about nothing. Now going to the soccer game is cool as shit, but sitting there watching it, I ain't gonna be able to do that.
Neymar, Messi, and Ronaldo were not at the same stage. Yeah, we good. Yeah, we good.
Yep.
All right, y'all. Well, we got a couple super chats, so let's dive into it. Cookie Crumbs 08 sent through $25 and said, settle a debate for me. If there was one spot left in the NBA top 100, who would y'all pick? Klay Thompson or Jimmy Butler? They both averaged the same numbers, but Jimmy got a chance to be a 1A and had elite runs with no rings. Give me Jimmy Butler. Who y'all got?
I just think Jimmy's better than him.
Is he better than him?
I don't think they average the same numbers either. But.
Is Jimmy better than Klay at basketball, or is he just better than him at what he did? Because I think
he's better at basketball
too. But we've had this conversation. I don't think Klay's been better than Jimmy since like 2014.
I was thinking 2015 was when we was having a conversation.
When Jimmy became Jimmy, when it was Jimmy G Buckets, the G stands for gets, and happened in 2015 when he won Most Improved. From that moment on until the present day, I don't think Klay's ever been better than Jimmy Butler.
I think a lot has to be said about me being better than you, being better than me at something specific, which constitutes to winning when you say that you took your team to the NBA championship. But what I did was the main reason why we won the NBA championship. Me being a long ball shooter, like I'm better than you at this. I'm better than you at this. Now, don't get me wrong. Rebounding might be a huge factor, but I don't think that Klay was just a long ball shooter. You and I, Mars, we've been at odds about Klay as a defender. I don't think he was Jimmy Butler good as a defender, but I do think that he was an elite I think he was elite as a.
He was a really good defender, but like you said, he wasn't Jimmy Butler.
No, I don't think he was Jimmy Butler good. No, I don't. And
that's what we're comparing him to right now.
That's what I'm saying, and I'm making the argument. I'm making the argument for Klay Thompson that I was elite at this thing that helped us win the NBA championship. You were elite as a player. But you weren't able to get them over the hump. But I was able to get us over the hump with what I did specifically.
Well, let's let value of a replacement answer this.
But
Shall we?
you think Dominique
52.8
Wilkins is better
versus
than James Worthy? Though?
17.6.
Like the same argument.
Big gap.
Like that's the exact. And I'm not saying Klay is Dominique Wilkins. Like I'm not.
Yep.
But the same exact principle would be James Worthy. His skill set got the Lakers over the hump and led to multiple championships. He's a Finals MVP, all of that stuff. And Dominique Wilkins is the better player, but he didn't lead to the winning the same way Klay did. So why is James Worthy above Dominique? Why is Dominique above James Worthy, but Klay is above Jimmy Butler?
I think the difference is with James Worthy, like we got to see James Worthy in that space where he can excel. He didn't do this one specific thing. Like Klay did this specific thing as a jump shooter, but he was also good as a defender. James Worthy with the Lakers, he was damn good. James Worthy was damn good as a bucket getter. He also was a guy who we went to for buckets in the meat and potatoes of games, not just as a long ball shooter. No, we went to him. We went to him on the box. We went to him one-on-one. We went to him in mismatches. I think that if James Worthy had the opportunity, even though I think Dominique Wilkins was a better player, but I think if James Worthy was in a number one, I think he was in a number one situation like what Dominique, I think that I would have got something much better. With Jimmy Butler and Klay, I don't think Klay is better than buckets as a basketball player. And I think that if Klay was a number one, I think that his skill set wouldn't have allowed him to be as good as Jimmy Butler as a number one, because I think Jimmy Butler did more. I think James Worthy as a number one, I didn't get to see how awesome he could have been as a number one as opposed to Dominique Wilkins.
It sounds like we're on the same page.
Klay was a better three-point shooter. He had more rings.
I'm just trying to. What I'm doing is
he's not a better defender. He's not a better playmaker. He's not a better player. He's not a better rebounder. He's not a better scorer.
But it all depends. Especially with these two, it depends all on situation too. Like I'm pretty sure you all can agree, Klay would have fit that system better than. And I'm not saying it wouldn't be better or they wouldn't be good with Jimmy Butler. I'm not saying they wouldn't have won championships with Jimmy Butler, but Klay next to Steph and Draymond is better than Jimmy next to Steph and Draymond. And so, like, once again, you can become a better player based on the role.
Sure.
Yeah, but Klay next to Steph and Draymond isn't better than Jimmy. Like, he's not a better player than Jimmy Butler. That's what I'm saying. In my opinion, I don't
think he's better at basketball than Jimmy Butler. I don't think
if you ask me who's a better player, Jimmy Butler or Klay Thompson, even if Klay Thompson is what he does next to Steph and Dre, the player that I've seen Jimmy Butler, he's better than that Klay Thompson to me.
In like, most scenarios,
at basically everything. So,
and you being better at I think that's what the divide is, because like you just said, like we just said, Miles, with James Worthy and Dominique Wilkins, I didn't get to see James Worthy as a number one, but as a bucket getter, like I think that James Worthy and Dominique Wilkins, if James Worthy was to be a number one, I mean, I don't think that he would be superior to. I don't think he would be superior to James Worthy. Like the 21 a game he averaged with the Lakers playing with Magic. Well, if we had an offense where we was running it through him like we was doing with Dominique Wilkins, I mean, I think that 21 with James Worthy could have been 26, 27. I don't think I could have got that with Klay. I don't think Klay could have been that good like Jimmy Butler was. No, I don't think that.
And also, this super chat asked, if you had one spot left in the top 100, who would you pick? When that conversation is, like when you're mentioning top hundreds and stuff like that, accolades and stuff like that are usually factored in a lot when you get to talking about those. If I had a spot, it's going to Klay. Respect to Jimmy.
5 all NBAs to 2, 5 all defense to 1, 6 all stars to 5. Jimmy,
and a conference finals MVP for Jimmy.
That too.
He did do that.
Jimmy's also like quite clearly the better playoff performer. Like even though Klay has 4 rings, he's like quite.
Well, as a number one, yes, 100%. He's
as a player.
superior.
Like I think people just forget how inconsistent Klay was in the postseason.
And Jimmy Butler hasn't always been a number 1 option. Sometimes he's been a number 2. Sometimes even played kind of as a number 3. And I mean, who
was the number 1 in Philly? It was Joel Embiid. Is that correct? Yeah, it was Joel Embiid. Yeah, it was Joel Embiid.
All right, the next super chat is from Tupac Westside. Tupac said, "Morning, fellas. The less said about that The less said about that game, the better. Glad that D-Mitch got paid, but I don't know how the Cavs can afford to build around that contract. Another day of impatient LA fans wanting Rob fired.
Well, it sounds like the Cavs.
Shout out to Donovan Mitchell. You
Yeah.
got the worst contract in the NBA now.
It sounds like the Cavs have decided that, okay, this is our franchise player. Like, this is who we sticking with. Like, we building around him. That's what that's when you sign a guy 4 years at what, 270, 275, something like that, 273. Yeah, I know that shit sounds crazy.
In theory,
NBA
in
money
theory, that's how.
When you
Theory,
sign
that's
a
how you think
guy,
it go, but chill, that don't necessarily run like that. Them motherfuckers sign an extension and trade your ass in the wee hours of the
Yeah,
night.
that contract not tradable, man. Ain't no one about to be paying Donovan Mitchell $70 million a year.
Equalizer.
I just got.
Damn, why you gonna spoil him? I'm getting clearly behind. God damn.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna react to it. I'm gonna act like I ain't here. I'm gonna react to it when I see it.
So, Ron, it looks to
yeah.
me like the Cavs have decided that Donovan Mitchell is their guy moving forward as a franchise player. I don't think that they signed him to trade him away. I don't think that that's happened. I think that they think that they're closer than they are, and I think that maybe another move, or not just another move, but not just another move, but maybe another season of guys, Mobley, Jarrett Allen, these guys getting better. They think that, we ain't that far away, even though they got swept in the conference finals. But they don't think that they don't think they're that far away. So, shout out to I think the biggest problem that I'm having is that people talk about Donovan Mitchell like Donovan Mitchell is Donovan,
chill. For me, it's not even the Donovan Mitchell money. For me, like, some people can debate whether Donovan Mitchell's overpaid or overrated. It's the fact, like, with the Cavs, and this is why now I for sure can't take them serious. Because if LeBron don't go there, they're still about to give James Harden max level money, and it's just
they're
like
gonna give him like 2 years, 75, 80,
like
something like that.
That's just incompetent. They, I don't know what they got going on over there. I really don't.
That Donovan Mitchell contract is the worst contract in the NBA. Devin Booker's gonna be making some crazy money.
$75 million, Mars.
Those two, but at least, how long is Devin Booker?
He signed an extension, by the way. Like, so we clear.
Yeah, but that means he's not gonna be making that crazy money. He's only making that money for like
same thing with Donovan Mitchell. Like, he signed
Donovan
an extension
Mitchell's is
too.
4 years making 70 each year. Devin Booker's is 2. Like that is different. And Devin Booker's contract is still bad, in my opinion. But 2 years to 4 is crazy. Yeah, Devin Booker, he's making 50, 50, 60, 65. Donovan Mitchell's about to be making like 75 in about 6 years or 5 years. Like that's the worst contract in the NBA.
Well,
right.
5 years, 5 years from now, he probably won't be on their books, to be honest with you. I think that they're gonna give this thing.
Trading for 75 millions of Donovan Mitchell.
I think they're going to. I don't know, Miles. I think they're gonna look at this. I think they're gonna look at this group and see if we can get another year, another run out of it, and then after that, I think that they're gonna make some. Especially if they lose in the conference championship again, or if they get to
extended him. Then if they're doing one more year, they shouldn't have extended him. They should have just waited to see what happened next year. And if they win, then cool, give them whatever money you want. And if you don't, then cut ties.
I think that's what they did this year. Because
if it's not for the long
remember what this is, Ron. So they was in the conference championship, even though they got swept. They was in the conference championship. Remember, the team that was in the conference championship without LeBron James, that was in 1992. That was the last time they've been in the conference championship. That was the last time. Before then, right? So I say that to say, with Donovan Mitchell and this Cleveland Cavaliers group, with Don still in the prime of his career, I think this is peak Donovan Mitchell. By the way, I got an All-Pro, I got an All-NBA player that's getting deep into the playoffs, and we may have another run in us. If we got another run in us, then let's see what it is.
Chill. The only thing that could save Donovan Mitchell is Evan Mobley taking a jump. That's the only thing
that would be nice. Yeah,
that's the only thing that can make this contract to me like acceptable. Because if Evan Mobley's able to take like a all NBA,
Evan Mobley is underpaid by such a large amount that you can afford to overpay Donovan
No,
Mitchell.
you could justify it that way. But if Evan Mobley gets better, now they can actually win more. So that it's more so from that perspective.
That's what I'm banking on. To be honest with you, Ron, that's what I'm banking on.
This team ain't winning a thing, but
I'm banking on Mobley getting better. I'm banking on Jarrett Allen getting better. That's what I'm banking on.
I'm banking on you paying Donovan Mitchell $75+ million after his 33rd birthday. That's what I'm banking on.
I don't think he's gonna be on the crew by then, to be honest with you.
Well, good luck getting the.
Yeah, I don't know how Donovan Mitchell has managed to convince this many people he's good, but salute to him.
He's not even good, Mars.
I'm hating a little bit.
Is
Oh,
Donovan
100%
wait. Is Donovan Mitchell better than Klay Thompson? Damn.
Well, I guess.
I mean,
don't know.
if I got you thinking, I feel like he's better than you giving him credit for. But I got you.
All
You know
right,
when I stepped off for a second, I literally saw that they were down 2-0, and I set my screen to record. I'm like, I think I'm gonna want to see this come back.
Yeah, Egypt selling a little bit, but
No, we still got this. Egypt stand up. We're just trying to make it an interesting game.
for sure.
We?
Sure.
That's Mexico
Well,
out, so
Mexico's
Egypt's in
out,
now?
so you gotta go to Egypt.
Okay.
Shout out to Egypt.
Like
I'm-
Brazil's out, so obviously now I got to root for Spain. So leave it Spain.
See, you keeping it with the Spanish speaking countries. I'm rocking
Yeah,
with my
Brazil speaks
with the
Portuguese, but
motherland.
salute.
Portuguese, Spanish. same
Hoes are
thing.
your friends, hoes are your enemies. Yep. Ludacris told us.
Try Damu became a YouTube member. Shout out to Try. DNE MLV said, I finally understand how Chill felt when Harden went to Cleveland. I'm letting the hate flow through me. If a contender picks up DeMar DeRozan, they drop a tier instantly.
Yeah, I'm not as high on DeMar as I guess Chill and Jordan, but
Bro,
Oh.
I pretty
higher
much
on him
devoted
in-
48 hours to recruiting him to Toronto. I don't think any of y'all are higher on him right now than I am.
I just think
Yeah.
he's
Still
I
haven't
think
answered my question.
even if he's
What is your question?
better, I mean, even if he's older, I just think that in a certain situation, DeMar DeRozan is not as portable as he used to be. He's going to be 37 on opening night. Let's be clear about that. All right, he's going to be 37 on opening night. So with that being said, he's not the bucket getter at 37 that he was at 32 or at 31. So he's got to be in space where he's playing with somebody that the offense is conducive to his game, as opposed to him having to get, for lack of a better term, get it out the mud, because he ain't that good no more. No, not at all.
All right, Spanish Jose sent through $9.99 and said, I just want to acknowledge that it's now been 30 years since the greatest draft class in NBA history, the 96 draft class.
The 96 draft class. You know which draft class we don't talk about? We do not talk about the 2017 draft class. That was a damn good draft class.
Yeah, I mean, we're just now getting to the point where we can kind of start talking about it, just because like their careers are now starting to be like lengthy enough. But you right though. Like it's a hell of a draft class.
Yes, that draft class. I mean, the 84 draft class. I already know what that is. And the 96 draft with Iverson and Bryant, Nash, Ray Allen, Marbury. I mean, I think it stacks up with the best draft classes of all time. I mean, 03 is right there, but I would have to say 84 with Lajuan and Jordan and Barkley. Let's see, Stockton was in that
Jonathan.
draft.
Yep.
Stockton was in that draft. Kevin Willis was in that draft. Yeah, that might not say a lot for you guys, but Kevin Willis, I think he played till he was 44.
He played for 200 years, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Kevin Willis played till he was 44. That might not mean a lot to you guys, but yeah, that was going on. So, I mean, the 96 draft was pretty impressive, though. Yes,
this draft class got that type of potential. It's hard to say it before like they even play an NBA game, because respectfully, no one would have known Steve Nash was going to turn into what he turned into. Like even Kobe, like not saying we didn't know Kobe had like crazy talent, but to turn into a top 10 player of all time, it's hard to foresee that. Like even with like after Hakeem and MJ, like did you expect John Stockton to never miss a game for 200 years and then get 17 million assists? So like we say it for these draft classes after the fact, but at the time, I don't know if people were like, oh, 96 best draft class ever. I don't know if people were saying that. So like we kind of got to wait and see how these guys' careers unfold. Do they pan out the way we expect? Do we see a surprise guy? Like does Phylon out in Philly turn into like a next great guard? And like he was 22. Like we need to kind of see what this draft has to hold. But I do think they have the type of talent in it to where potentially they could be in these types
So the
of
2003 draft, Mars, had James, Anthony, Bosh, Wade.
What's wrong, Ben?
Let's see. Who
Let
else?
Mars tell
Like
you.
David West was in that draft. Boris
Oh, okay.
DL was in that draft.
I'll tell you in about 14 seconds.
Barbosa was in that draft. Josh
Damn,
Howard was in
Brits.
that draft. What's the shooter's name in Atlanta? Kyle Korver was in that draft. So yeah, I mean that I think that 2003 draft was real.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Egypt really sold the bag.
Where's
Come
my
on,
guy
Egypt.
Amir? Where's
Damn. Hey, Amir, I was rocking with you. Damn, this is tragic.
Is it Tragic Johnson?
Oh my god, this is bad. They were up 2-0 with 10 minutes to go.
Hey. Well, they're
It's
down 3-2 right now.
3-2.
Wow.
Oh, Egypt. Oh my.
This is a
goodness.
colossal failure. Hey, but man, when you got the goats, you got the goats, you know.
This might be worse than 2016. Oh my god. How do you blow it? I guess.
All right, Masinko sent through $9.99 and said, please stop trying to give us Russ and DeMar. Great players, but awful fits. I'd rather risk signing Bradley Beal on a minimum. ... Giannis cooked me. My 34 jersey is on the way. Damn, Masinko. I don't even understand why they would put up a 34 jersey for sale before Giannis picked his number. Like that doesn't even make sense. You might have got it.
I'm pretty sure you
from a secondary site though.
Yeah, you could probably. Well, if you got it from the Miami Heat, they'll let you take it back and exchange it because Giannis is wearing number 7. So,
but
they probably do that.
I doubt the Heat would sell jerseys before he even picks a number though.
Yeah, so he probably didn't get it.
Damn, Masinko. It's all good.
Seeing Giannis in number 7 is going to be weird though. It's just, I'm so used to seeing him in 34, but
yeah. Masinko, just wear that 34 jersey loud and proud. Everybody know whose jersey it is. The next super chat I got is from Prince Paxton. Prince Paxton said, hot take, Bob McAdoo's game not only translates to the modern game better than the 70s, but if he were to play in the modern era, he'd be the best power forward of all time.
I got asked, and I think this is really interesting, that question right there, because I got asked, Chill, how good was Willis Reed? And Mars, you and I had the conversation about the evolution of, like, Wemby is, I think Wemby is the evolution of Ralph Sampson. Julius Randle should have been the evolution of Willis Reed. Yes. Everything that you complain about with Julius Randle, imagine if you marveled at it. Everything that he does that you bitch about, that you like, this sucks. He doesn't do this, he doesn't do that. If he did all of that, he would be a better version of what Willis Reed was. He'd be a better rebounder. He'd be a better bucket getter. He'd be a better defender. He'd be a better one-on-one player. Julius Randle should have been, with the skill set that he has, of all the guys that I'm thinking about when I watch, he should have been the evolution of Willis Reed. 6'9", 6'10", left-handed, athletic, could get to the wing, get to the bucket, can knock down a mid-range jump shot. He should have been all of these things that Willis Reed, he should have been a better version of what Willis Reed was when I watched.
That's disrespectful.
That's so disrespectful to Willis Reed. But Bob McAdoo, yeah, I don't know if Bob McAdoo would have been better in today's game. I also don't know if he would have played the 4 in today's game. But offensively, yeah, he was definitely one of the more gifted offensive bigs of his era for sure. His jump shot looked funky, but that shit went in like all the time. Great touch, really good athlete. He reminds me of Amari Stoudemire. That's what I kind of compare him to. He reminds me a little bit of Amari Stoudemire.
Mars, I was over there listening to you. Ain't no fucking way you not going for England.
Oh yeah, I don't care.
It's some bullshit, Ron. I can't believe you let him get that off.
You're not rocking with the Queen.
Well, the Queen's dead.
By the
That's
way,
crazy. That's
Ron,
crazy.
It's still the Queen's country.
Well, no, we have a king now, King Charles. So Charles.
That's the Queen's country.
One of them, Charles Philip. It's
Charles
some old white guy.
Charles the 10th?
Yeah,
Is King Charles the 10th?
I don't know. It's some white people who sit on the throne. I don't know. Incestual family, like, you know.
For sure.
All right. Tay sent through $5 and said, Pat Riley did it again. Ryan Conwell gonna bring good 3-point volume off the bench. Another 3-point shooter off the bench.
That's what he was drafted for. He shot threes.
good.
Like, that's what he was
Yeah.
drafted for.
So is Fontechi.
Hey, he's been
He can
looking.
score the basketball a little bit too, though, Mo.
He's been
can,
looking way more than just a 3-point shooter.
Yeah, he can
y'all
score the
familiar
basketball.
with Namari Burnett?
Yeah.
I'm
From
not.
Michigan. He went to Texas Tech first. He went to Prolific Prep.
I like
Play
him.
with Jalen Green.
I like him.
Oh, okay. Damn, he just now coming out.
Oh, the guard? You talking about the guard?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I
He
remember.
just now coming out.
Yeah, he won. He just won a championship in Michigan. But he's been in college for either five years, I want to say. But y'all know, like, COVID and all of that. He might have been 6 years.
And Jalen Green went to the
he's
goddamn
on-
G League after college. So.
He's on.
after high school.
And y'all know Malik
Namari
Thomas?
Burnett.
Not
Who?
that Malik Thomas, the other Malik Thomas, I think from Virginia.
I'm not hit.
Y'all gonna
Who's
want to
Leaky
watch.
Black,
y'all
though?
gonna want to watch the Raptors
Leaky
Summer
Leaky Black
League
played for
squad,
the
bro.
Hornets. Leaky Black played for the Hornets.
Y'all gonna want to watch
He
the
played for the
Raptors Summer
Wizards
League.
now.
I'm telling you, the Summer League squad is damn stacked.
Yeah.
Stacked.
I know
Leaky Black went to Leaky Black went to UNC. I think.
You don't know the first
Yeah,
thing
he
about my
did.
squad,
He did.
bro.
I didn't watch League.
Hey, you don't know none of them players. Just because y'all picked up a couple of scraps off the street for y'all summer league team, now you know everybody.
No.
Okay,
You know what, Pete? Hey, what you got going on tomorrow?
I don't know why.
Bring your ass up here. I'm frying you all day tomorrow because I don't like your attitude. I don't like that smug demeanor that you got going on today. So you know what I'm gonna do tomorrow? I'm gonna cook the smug off you.
You know what where my
Since
smug
Ox wasn't here to
you
do
one
it today,
thing.
I'm gonna do it to you tomorrow.
You want to know where my smug demeanor comes from?
Where?
From
I
what?
do the work.
Okay.
I do the damn work.
You want to know where mine comes from?
Irrational confidence.
Unintellectual curiosity.
Well, I just wanted to come back up here, just to say goodbye to you guys. I got a date at the gym today. I got to go and lock in.
You got a date?
At the gym.
Yeah. Well, I got a date with the gym. I'm on my cardio trail.
Oh, you got a date
Ron, I'll
with
see
the
you
gym. I
soon.
thought you had a date at the gym.
Nah.
And
boy,
goodbye is forever, Drench.
I ain't gonna
Goodbye.
make.
And by the way, Drench, goodbye is forever. So see you later.
Oh, see you later. Yeah, a pen. I ain't gonna be able to have a schedule a date at the gym because shit, I'm gonna have to end that motherfucker early. If I get to thinking of some shit in my head, we got to go. See you.
Hey, we can continue this workout elsewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
You
So
feel me?
you know, I'm on my new journey. When Ron see me next time, he gonna be like, "Damn, you look like an action figure."
Drench, I'm finna
I'm on
see
my-
you in like 10 days.
I know. That's what I'm saying. In 10 days, I'm gonna be an action figure.
All right.
I'm on my cardio journey, man. I'm trying to get at least a mile or two in every day. I'm on my car. All right, chill. But I'm on my cardio journey.
I
man,
see you.
know?
I see you rocked up. Chill.
Whoa. You see?
Wait till I see you. I'm gonna body slam your ass. That's
you
what I'm
see.
gonna
Though, hopefully he
Sit-
won't be rocked
sit-
up when he body slams.
No,
Rocked up.
what's gonna happen, Drench, is he gonna be on the rocks. That's where he gonna be. 'Cause I'm
Oh,
slamming his
Chill,
ass.
let's
He gonna be
chill, let's see the
twisted
rocks
up.
again.
Slam
Chill,
his ass. That's what
chill,
I'm
show
gonna
us the rock one more time.
Shit, dog.
Look, he rocked up. Yo, look. Yeah.
Slam, jump,
All
slam
right.
Ron ass.
all right,
You don't
y'all.
want to see my arms. I'm gonna break your damn screen.
I got one more
Damn.
super chat, y'all, from I Take No Kobe Slander. I Take No Kobe Slander had to say this. Would you rather get postered on for the game winner or get crossed and hit the floor and he makes it? Random question.
Posted,
What
both.
happened?
I've had
Posted
both
for
happen
sure.
to me.
Yeah, we
The
already seen-
poster is worse.
I'd rather
Where-
get dropped,
where we
I'd
seen
rather
you.
get I'd rather get posted.
especially for
Well,
game. Yeah,
Ron,
I'd rather get dropped.
I'm 5'2". You meant to dunk on me. Like shit.
Yeah, but like
I shouldn't even have made the
can't-
rotation.
Okay, I want to say this. Like, there's a way that you can get dunked on where you could reserve some of your self-esteem.
You can't
But
get
then there's a
friends in that.
way that you get
Yeah,
dunked on that you look
can't
like a
get
real
friends in that.
bitch. And I'm gonna tell you, when I got dunked on, I looked like a real bitch. Someone took a
Ron,
picture.
you remember Kimber Walker in the Big
I was like LeBron trying to find that image and trying to get them to
Make
delete
sure
that
you
shit
remember
from
that,
their phone.
Ron. Kimber Walker in the Big East tournament against Pitt. Like my
Who
dude
did Giannis dunk on in the finals? Or that was DeAndre Ayton. No, I think Giannis and DeAndre Ayton.
Giannis
No,
dunked on-
DeAndre Ayton tried to dunk on Giannis. He blocked it. He dunked on, was it Chris Paul? Chris Paul pushed him out the air.
Oh, okay. So you had that one. But hold on. Remember DeAndre Ayton caught a log to game somebody?
Which, by the way, Mars,
Oh, you
that's
might
a-
against the Clippers. You might against the Clippers.
It is over.
Yeah.
In the playoffs. Yeah.
which, by the way,
I
Mars,
can't-
that's
I can't remember who it
today. Even that was 5 years ago, but today that's a flagrant foul on Chris Paul, and we get the ball
For
back.
sure. That was a dirty play.
Yeah, that's a flagrant foul today, and we get the ball.
But
back.
Chris Paul has his fair share of dirty plays. So
Yes, he does.
Ain't nothing really
100%
surprising
does,
with that
so
one.
no doubt.
All right, y'all. It's been fun. It's been real. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. You know where to find us. Chill. What should they take?
Take it light, but take it. Later, guys.
Yeah. What he
Merry
said.
Christmas.
All right, peace, y'all.
See you tomorrow, Penn.